Hello, friends, family, enemies, lovers, and welcome to Voluntary Viewing's 2021 Top 10s. This is the end of year podcast where we definitively rank the top 10 games, shows, and movies of this past year. I can confidently say that we are all friends as we start this podcast. I don't know if that's going to be the case by the end of it. I have New Year's plans involving some of you guys. That might need to get worked out. We've had to take time off this friendship after recording this before, but here we are today. Battling it out for his top picks tonight. Andrew Clark, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling loose. I'm ready to just fucking get out there and give it 110%. Really fight for my media. I know that we're all big consumers of media here, and it was a big struggle to really decide what was going to make the list and what wasn't. But you know what? I'm going to make some fucking allies. I'm going to make some fucking enemies. We're going to work together, and you know what? I'm just going to do all I can to compete.
There may be shenanigans afoot tonight. We will see. And the man who will either instigate or shut down some of those shenanigans, Ryan Holtz. How are you feeling going into this, Ryan?
Lord Stark, I'm for the realm. Someone has to be. I'm here for the list, man. I'm here to make a fucking good-ass list where there isn't bullshit that people would be like, that's not a top 10 thing.
Looking at you, Game Awards. Looking at you.
On the list.
Let's Fight a Boss podcast. I actually enjoy their podcast, but I take objection to some of your top games of 2021 entries. And the man who takes those objections is me, Lucas the Writer. I'm drinking a cup of coffee that's mostly Irish cream, and I am ready to do this. I got a haircut today for this.
Oh my god.
Okay,
I'm wearing a blazer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're looking sharp, looking dapper. We had some issues getting on video. I had some issues getting on video prior to this call. We should be recording this. We should put this up on the Patreon. We're not, but next year maybe.
Record tech issues?
The black tapes of voluntary viewing. Fuck, have you tried changing your permissions? Do you really think I haven't tried changing the permissions?
Can you record your own screen with your phone so we can look at it?
No, there should be a little camera icon in the upper right. It's not there. Yeah, but there should be a camera icon. Oh, my life, my nightmare. Okay, this is the fourth time we've done this, which means we are back to the top of the rotation. So we are going to do games first, then shows, then movies. Andrew, take us through your games. What do you have in order, bottom to top, and then a couple sentence descriptor of each one?
Yeah, so I think games is probably going to be the shortest amount of time to get through out of all three of these categories. But I'm going to start with my number one pick for this year. Which is Deathloop. I talked about it a little bit on the podcast before. Deathloop, it's a time loop game where you play as Colt as you try to break the time loop by killing all of the bosses in one go. Really fun gameplay where you can go between stealth and all-out action. Really cool powers, really cool mechanics. The vibe, the music is really good. The story really isn't there, but like the gameplay itself is just so fucking fun. So that's why it's my number one. Mm-hmm. Are we gonna allow interjections in here? Do you guys make comments?
No, this is just you giving descriptors of your picks right now. Go for it.
Okay.
You have the talking stick.
Yeah.
Number 2, Resident Evil 8 Village. I mean, Lucas, you played this game. It's just an all-around fun time. A schlocky B horror movie from the 90s.
Yeah.
And like Resident Evil games have been around for a long time. They kind of have it down, the survival horror mechanics. Ethan is just a good dad. who is a really poorly written character. But like the vibe, the graphics are great. The level design is super cool. And I mean, it's a game we're still talking about making jokes over.
Yes.
And who doesn't love a big vampire lady?
Ah.
Number 3, Battlefield 2042. We've all played it. It's a fun time. It's a really good multiplayer shooter with a bunch of issues that are not as bad as people make them out to be. We'll kind of see what the lifespan of this game is, because we've had some troubles getting matches lately, but just, glitches. Every game's got them. But, it's fun. You shoot at people with guns and you drive around tanks. That's fucking sick. And number 4, a game that I played the least out of all of these games, Hell Let Loose. PlayStation 5's free game of December. Which is a World War II military sim game that focuses on team play, communication, and you die in one hit pretty much no matter what. I'm not going to talk too much about this game. I played a handful of matches that were all very, very long. The first time I played, I accidentally spawned very far away from everyone else, and I ran around for a little bit trying to find what was going on. I followed the sound of gunfire, and I saw a friend and an enemy engaged in a fight, just shooting a machine gun back and forth at each other until the friend was victorious. I heard someone running. I crouched down in a bush, and I saw an enemy slowly walk by me. I fired my M1 Garand once, and he just fucking flopped on the ground, dead as hell. And then the game ended.
Andrew's good at Hell Let Loose. Cool.
And then the next time I played for a solid hour, and never fired my gun once, died 20 times.
Jesus.
And then the third match that I played, we got really good communication, and I killed a whole bunch of fools, and it was really scary, just aiming down the sights and pulling the trigger once and seeing a guy just crumple and scream. Yeah, that's Hell Let Loose. That's number 4.
There we have it. Andrew's top 10 games of 2021. Ryan, what are your top 10 games of 2021? Bottom to
Let's
top.
count them down. Number 10, not applicable. Number 9, media not found. Number 8, 404, error. Number 7, get the fuck out of here, it ain't here. Number 6, blah, who cares. Number 5, video games, never heard of them. Number 4, boy, you really just play games that you've played for years and they're just replayable. Number 3, you're not a real gamer. And number 2,
Ooh.
Mario Golf Super Rush.
Okay.
Totally not just the only other game that I've played this year from that released in 2021. Fun game. Had good times every time I played it. The 4 or 5 times. It seems like it would actually be something that I could play by myself, but always played it with friends. It's a good time. Mario sports games are always pretty fun for me. Fill that void of not being a simulation sports game, which can kind of be pretty bland after a while, but you never know.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 1, Battlefield 2042, which, like Andrew said, it's a good game. You hate it because you loved Battlefield 3, or you just wanted Battlefield 4 with updated graphics.
Mm-hmm.
And they went, no, that would be dumb, and the only people that would like it would be super fans. And they said, fuck you, DICE, we hate you now. And now Battlefield 5, out of spite, has more active users than 2042. When the fan base of Battlefield shit on Battlefield 5 for years, and it's the reason that DICE completely stopped supporting it. So I don't know what the fan base wants at this point, but it's good. And that's my top 10.
I do feel like we need to say a couple of us will probably have honorable mentions that we're not going to get into because games that we played that did not come out this year and don't qualify. I played Ghost of Tsushima, Control, and Metro Exodus, all really good games that I enjoyed the hell out of. Didn't come out this year.
Yeah,
those are the games I played the most.
I played Madden 21 a lot.
Ooh. In honor of John Madden, will we allow that one this year?
No.
Okay.
No, we will fucking not. I will kill myself.
He's already rolling over in his grave. Great job, team. Okay. My top 10 video games. Number 10, Battlefield 2042. Talked about this a lot already. This is mostly here because I can play it with you guys and other friends, and that is awesome. Number 9, Voice of Cards, The Isle Dragon Roars. This is just a fun, quirky Yoko Taro game that uses the aesthetic of cards. This is mostly here on potential than my feelings of this game in particular, and I don't know, this becomes a yearly release where it is just, we're gonna pay Yoko Taro to write a short story and turn that into a video game. I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine to pay $30 a year for that. Bravely Default 2. This is 80% a fantastic game that just shits the bed in the closing act. Mechanically brilliant right up until it betrays it and betrays those mechanics, and then narratively, it's fun, it's cute until it gets cliche. Number 7, Shin Megami Tensei V. This game's mechanics are... V has come too. Metal Gear Solid V. Shin Megami Tensei 5. This game's battle system is just drugs to me, and I love that. Also making me think about growing up Catholic in some interesting ways, and just how religion and culture intertwine. Yeah, kind of gutless. Kind of like about a bunch of big stuff without really saying anything. Number 6, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Bowser's Fury is what allows this to be on here and is the part of the game that I enjoyed the most. Team up with Bowser Jr. to help his dad not be a kaiju anymore. It's great. You turn into a Super Saiyan cat to fight Kaiju Bowser. What more do you want? Number 5, new Pokemon Snap. This game came out like 2 weeks before I totally upended my life and moved to Los Angeles, and it was really emotionally grounding for me to play just a game that encapsulates a lot of my childhood, but updated for Nintendo Switch, and that was awesome. Number 4, Metroid Dread. Fantastic Metroidvania. Samus is a badass. If they never make another Metroid game, this is a hell of a one to go out on. You fight her deadbeat dad and beat the shit out of him. I love it. Number 3, Nier Replicant. Remake of a PlayStation 3 game that is phenomenal. Second Yoko Taro game on this list. Loved it. Sad and weird and fun and queer. Loved it. Resident Evil Village. Andrew talked about it before. Vampire Lady Big. And there was a bunch of fun, dumb, tropey horror stuff in here that I just ate up. And then my number 1 game of 2021, No More Heroes 3. A game that is so aggressively not for everyone that I think some mainstream game reviewers' brains broke when they realized, I can't write a little something for everyone about this game. It doesn't have a little something for everyone. What do we say about this? What is this even? And I loved it. This is the most unique punk rock game I've played in a long time, and I'm going to be fighting for it hard. Yeah. Honorable mentions would Demon Souls, Bugsnax, that played those this year, but because of when I was able to get a PlayStation 5, but they didn't release this year. They would be in the top 5 if they were allowed. But they are not, so they are not. Who wants to make the first pitch? And I should let the audience know, we are allowed to nominate other people's choices to make this work for this category, but also to curry favor. Andrew, your hand's up. Is this a question or is this volunteering?
I'm volunteering.
Volunteers tribute.
Oh,
no,
we'll
said that, not me.
We'll get to Jennifer Lawrence later on in this list. Don't you worry. Later on in this podcast. But Andrew, what do you feel is the number 10 game of 2021?
Okay, so first off, I think I need to establish with Ryan, for either of us, our best chance Oh, look! You look like you're finding something out, Ryan.
I just realized I didn't put Don't Look Up on this.
Oh, you saw
I do have 10 movies.
Hey! That
I
better be
forgot
close to the
about it.
bottom.
Don't Look Up?
Yeah.
It's your number 5.
It's number 6.
That's a caliber of, like, that speaks to the caliber of movies I was able to watch this year. Bad year for movies.
I like Don't Look Up, so I think
Okay.
we're gonna have fights, even though I have it at 5 and you have it at 6.
No, that's fair.
So wait, hold on. Don't Look Up came out like Christmas Eve.
Yeah, no, we talked.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
There's no hard cutoff. We're gonna play it by
Right.
ear for.
So I mean,
in
could
the
Don't Look
future.
Up be on my list
No.
next year? Okay.
We said if
No.
people watched it. then
Okay,
no.
gotcha.
Right.
Okay, back to what I was saying. Ryan, I think you and I need to establish, for either of us, our best chance of winning this is for Lucas to score the lowest amount as possible on video games, because Lucas is going to win video games by default.
Yeah.
Lucas has 10 video games. I have the second most with 4.
Yeah.
Um,
Lucas is gonna dominate this category, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So I nominate for 10th place, No More Heroes 3.
No, that's mean.
Don't you
I'm not doing
fucking
it to be mean. I'm doing it because of the
That's
strategy.
mean.
You piece
Why would
of
you do No More
garbage.
Heroes 3. There's no difference between that and.
We don't get
fucking
points based
Voice
on
of Cards,
position.
The Isle Dragon roars.
It's
Like,
just
you can
what makes the cut. Yeah, everything.
Yeah,
no,
you could say
that-
any other
that's
game.
fine. I
first
just
or
mean-
10th, it's 1 point to
I
whoever.
thought I was just like putting it on the list like
No,
volunteering.
first or 10th is not 1 point.
Oh,
First
there-
gives you a lot more points.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I misunderstood.
But
Okay.
I'm saying, like, Andrew could have chosen a game that would not be such a personal affront to Lucas.
Oh, okay.
To
No,
put
that's
at number
I
10.
did not mean for it to be an affront to Lucas. Obviously, I want him
He
to
said he was
score.
going to fight for it hard. I think Lucas wants it number 1, which
It's
Yeah.
not going to be
gonna
number
happen,
1.
but
No, that's fine.
I'm not going to vote for it for number 1.
Top
but
three.
no, okay,
Top three.
I-
Easy. Number
I
one.
can
I
agree,
know.
I think it's-
Yeah.
Okay, no. Never. I'll retract it.
No, you can't retract.
I
That's
can't
it.
retract?
Yeah,
Okay.
we've said this.
No.
We've had this exact
Okay, fine.
situation happen.
All right. I guess that's my nomination. Do with it what you will.
How dare you?
No.
Denied.
All right. So what, is it Lucas next? Or who's next?
I need a moment to recover. Ryan, you go first. The order is Andrew, Ryan, me
Okay.
tonight.
So I'll do first in shows then? That's fair, I'll do
Oh no, we stick
Works for
to.
me.
No, we stick. Oh, okay, whatever, sure.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I thought it
Ryan
reset.
would
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
first in
Okay.
shows, and then
Fair.
Lucas would
Okay.
do first in movies.
Cool. Well then, I mean, Mario Golf Super Rush. It's a good game. You guys all. I don't actually.
Yeah.
Did you play it, Andrew?
I haven't played it.
Never even got to.
No.
I don't know. It's good, man. It's number 10. Give me a fucking point, please. Like I could do with 1 point. It's not an affront to have it on the list.
Please, sir, may I have a point?
May I have a single point?
Yeah, no, I mean,
That's
like,
all.
it's a video game that came out this year and people like it. I'm not going to argue
Yeah.
against it being at number 10.
Wario is dressed like an oil tycoon. Like that. That alone gets it at number 10 for me.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think that's glorifying the wealthy.
Okay.
Is that the point? I think he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, they said Mario was.
No,
No,
Wario.
no,
Mario.
it's
Mario.
Wario.
Okay.
Mario's a basic bitch.
Mario's a
as
fucking
always.
normie. You know, he's wearing a
Yeah.
red polo and I think like a golf visor. Like no.
Yeah.
Wario though. Wario has a cowboy hat.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm fine
saw
with that
something
number 10.
yesterday that said, when you play golf, are you required to look like a fucking loser, or can you just roll up in a hoodie?
You can.
No,
no,
you're
I
not
know.
allowed- yeah.
I know.
Every
I
club
worked
I've
on
ever been
I worked
to,
on a golf course
yeah.
before. Like, it was dress code.
Yeah. I mean, if there's like a billionaire or something, I doubt they would really turn them away, but who knows, yeah.
All right, so that's number 10.
We got one in.
Yeah.
Get it in, boys.
Mario Golf Super Rush at number 10. I am coming at number 9. I gotta think of some strategy here.
Strats.
What's the strat? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 3 of your guys' games are definitely going to get on here. That gives me 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5 positions to work with. What do I really want on here?
You also have games that we share. Like you have.
No, yeah.
Battlefield 2042 and Resident Evil 8.
Battlefield 24. I know who I'm
None
talking.
of those games
Andrew,
are number 9, right?
I
No,
know
I'm
who I'm
saying,
talking
I mean,
to,
like,
man.
you can have more than 5 of your games on this list easily.
You
Okay,
could
so-
have it all.
My Empire of Dirt.
So, like, yes, I could have, like, it depends on how we define my games, because there's a difference between games that we share and my games on this list. Let's be real. Shin Megami Tensei 5 for number 9.
Yes, absolutely.
I
I'm surprised you have it that low. Fair enough.
Yeah, that was going to be my suggestion for 10 once I tried to take it back. But
fucking, I wish if this game even just touched on the idea that, like, hey, we're going to give the pros and cons for Christianity. One of the cons is all the corruption, war, bigotry, and kid fucking. That would have put it a lot higher on my list, but now it whitewashed that, and I can't in good conscience like it more than I do put it any higher than I have it here. Andrew, what's number 8?
Hell Let Loose. Hell Let
know.
Loose is like a really well-crafted military simulation shooter that is scary as fuck. I don't think it'd be one that I would put a lot of time into because it makes me uncomfortable and feel bad. But it is, I know this game went into beta like fucking 8 years ago, and they just finally released it this year. There's a lot of work put into it by a very small developer of just a couple of rando dudes.
Okay, so I don't want to be this guy. I want to respect you, and I want to be friends by the end of this. This game is currently selling for $26.79 on Steam. Would you pay $26.79 for this game? Because I don't know if I can have a game that is only here because it was free. No, but like that's the thing.
I see what Lucas is asking. Yeah, I think that's actually a fair point.
Okay, we're not playing the fucking monetary value of the game here. Because it's not the kind of game I would seek out and play or pay at all. Even
So why'd you nominate it?
no, I'm saying that it's not the kind of game that I would normally play. In the same way that Come On is not the kind of movie that I would normally see. It was a really good movie. It's not my style of video game, but like I know what it is. In the same way that like if I had played Nier Replicant and put it on my list,
Yeah.
I'd probably say this game is not for me. It's not my kind of game, but I can see it's well made. It is a good video game. It deserves the accolades, that kind of thing.
No, but there's a difference between like that and like I wouldn't pay for this, you know? Like you paid money.
If I like
some
this
way,
kind of game, if I played like Insurgency Sandstorm and stuff like that, yeah, I'd pay for this game.
No, but like that's what I'm saying. You're saying right now you wouldn't pay for this game.
Because it's not my kind of game.
Then why does it deserve to be the 8th best game of 2021 if you don't even like it, apparently?
I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm saying that, like, I don't want to spend that much more time with it, and I get what it sounds like.
I've made my point. I think the audience knows where I'm coming from. That's
Ryan,
going to be a no
Ryan.
from me, dog.
I'm gonna need a favor. I'm borderline here. Like I see Lucas's point a lot. Like,
Oh,
I don't know, man.
Oh wait, you're saying you need a favor from Lucas?
No, no. I need you to convince me. Like, no, I'm definitely like leaning no. So yeah, if you're gonna flip me, I'm gonna need to.
Yeah, no, like
something.
you
in the future.
you and I, Ryan and Andrew, for 1,000 years, man. Like, we're in this together. If we don't want Lucas to take first, we're gonna have to put our games on here.
I don't know if that's necessarily
No.
true. I think we can hold him out of the other two categories a lot. Like, I'm looking at his list of shows and movies, And I don't
There's
know,
a lot
like,
of anime on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of anime and not a lot of
I don't,
crossover.
like-
I think it could be a good game, even if Lucas dominates video games.
Why is your strategy, let's be extra mean to Lucas and not,
It's not
okay,
the
he can-
strategy. You're the strongest competition.
No, you let me have games, you let me have this Kwanzai, and then
can't
you
let you have
roadblock me for the
anything.
others
What?
to... And that's why your strategy is let's be mean to Lucas.
I'm not.
Ryan,
no,
yes
I'm
or
not
no?
gonna let Ryan have TV. If we form an alliance, I'll back
should.
his play on TV, so that his shit
once
can
again,
be strong.
I've watched 19 TV shows that I think belong on this list, and I've watched 25 this year. You guys, like, filled it out. Like, it's the same thing with Lucas and gaming. Like, I do feel like my opinion does matter a little bit more, maybe, in
That's
that
fair.
category than in the others. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I'm borderline. I'm gonna need some help. Would a better strategy be to just have Battlefield 2042 at like 4, so we get more points from that?
Probably.
And like obviously Resident Evil.
But he's
is
gonna
be
get those
number
points
1.
too, regardless. So
I know, but you get them too. Like if you're so desperate, like and once again, I'm for the list. Like I'm Battlefield 2042. I don't think it should be above 4.
I think
my strategy, my best strategy, is to try to get it to 1. But that's a fucking bad list. If Battlefield 2042 is the number 1
I'd
game.
be okay
of
with
2021.
Battlefield 2042 at like 3 or 4. And I don't think it should be number 1.
I have a hard time
4.
BF going past 5, but I can see the argument for 4 at least.
We can make it 4.
Yeah.
don't know,
I'm putting it this low because I know how you guys probably
Should have had it at 10. I think I would have said yes on 10. Like just whatever.
Yeah.
8 is like, really? I don't know, man. It's
Eight's
starting to
not
get into
that
like
high.
real game territory.
It's not that high.
Here's my other thing though, Lucas, is I have to propose a game next.
Right.
And I have nothing. So if I say no, what am I gonna do? Just like fucking
I mean,
like just pick a game at random from your list?
Ryan, yes.
I know nothing about these games.
I mean, I can tell
Which
you.
I guess is what I'm gonna do anyway at number 7.
I painted a picture in your heads with my words of what this game was when I described it. I described the shell
Yeah, it
shock.
sounds like a
the
shitty
horror.
mill sim. I don't know.
Why would I play this instead of Counter-Strike?
They're
Why would I
very
play
different
this instead
games.
of Arma? Why would I play this instead of like?
Well, I haven't played Arma,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Fuck, man. I don't know. It's tough. I genuinely am very split, and I'm upset.
Well, you're the deciding factor. So
Yeah, I know. All right. Yes. Let's just fucking.
I'm not typing it
get
in.
it over with.
let's go.
Put it in at 8. It belongs, I guess. Whatever. It's been talked about. I've seen it. I hate it at 8. I wish it was at 10, but oh well. But then I guess Mario Golf. I don't know if anyone said that for 9.
Liz, okay, Mario Golf. I've been high and played that for more time than I'd care to admit. So it has an appeal.
Yeah. All right. Number 7. Fuck it. Pokemon Snap at number 7.
I'm in. Yes.
All right. Me and Andrew shit on it, but it's definitely
I can't
a
believe
release.
this shit, man. We
It's like,
talked so much bad shit about
We
this
did.
game.
We shit on it a lot. It's
I
a
can't
great game.
believe you're doing this. Look,
What else am I gonna fucking
no,
do?
Look,
He's not
I
gonna
get
take
it.
Metroid.
I get it. No, like I get it.
He's gonna say Metroid deserves to be higher.
No, I'm
Unless
saying
we're
that
gonna-
you should
once
be putting
again-
like his higher games lower, so he gets fewer points out of it. But no, look.
So he gets pissed. It's not gonna do
no,
any
that's
difference.
how he gets pissed. So he gets fewer points. This is the game.
He's gonna still get those points. You don't understand, Andrew. It's the same concept as trying to put a good
You
one of his
guys-
high games at 10.
You don't have 10 games between the two of you, Andrew.
know.
There's no
He's
way
gonna
in which
own
I don't
all
win.
the other spots. Unless like the rules have changed and we can nominate games that none of us played,
No.
which I think is fucking
No.
slippery slope. Like,
No.
so yeah. In other words, he's gonna get at least 6 spots because we only have 4 games. Yeah. All right.
All right,
New
that's it.
Pokemon Snap reminded me of my childhood. there is a moment there in that game when, totally unprompted, totally unexpected, a fucking Mew flies across the screen, and I have to try to take a picture of it. And I yelled at my TV, "That's a fucking Mew!" And then tried to take a picture of it. And that is just pure childhood
Jesus
joy.
Christ, that's fucking Mew.
It's a baby game for babies, but aren't we all babies at the end of the day?
It came in at an important time in my life. 10, 9, 8, 6, 7. My number 7 game.
No, this is number 6.
Oh, number 6? 10, 9, 8,
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, because
fucking-
column 1 is
I've got
the
a
title.
I'm going to add numbers to these during an intermission or next year or something, because this is tripping me up. So they're going to make a spot. Okay, let me... So I think this is less bold of a play than what Andrew did. So I feel confident doing this now. At number 6, I'd like to nominate Deathloop.
No, it's too low. I'm saying this not as like a play for points. I'm saying this as someone who has
kinda
played the
agree.
game. Like Deathloop is a very good video game.
I'm not
And even if
comfortable-
you don't agree with it being like number 1 or number 2,
It shouldn't be 1 or 2.
it is a good video game, and
I'm-
really, really fucking liked it, and a lot of other people did too.
I'm not comfortable with a game that normalizes incest in our top 5.
Don't give me that shit. There was no incest.
Gross.
There was no incest. We talked about this.
I feel like Deathloop definitely belongs in top 5. I'm gonna just once again, for the fucking sake of the list, Deathloop is an actual recognizable title. And like, look, it's not gonna help us because we're still gonna have to nominate your game.
Yeah, exactly.
When we say no to Deathloop at 6, we're just fucking like literally. We're not gonna put Battlefield here. We're not gonna put Resident Evil.
Yeah.
So like, Andrew's gonna have to
I'm
nominate
gonna
one of your
have to
games
nominate
in
one of
this
your
next
video
turn.
games, and then guess what Ryan's gonna have to do, Lucas?
Nominate
Nominate one of your
video
video games.
Yeah, I'll say no. It's too low.
Fine.
It's not even an affront to you because these next 2 spots are yours anyway.
Yeah. I'm next,
To Andrew
right?
then, yes.
Yeah. This one I'm gonna do out of like legitimate respect. I hope that it's fairly close to where you ranked it, so I don't think you're gonna be too upset about it. I'm gonna go with Metroid Dread. I know that Ryan had some qualms with it being a full-priced video game, but
Yeah.
out of all the shit that I've seen, and I've seen a little bit of like gameplay, people playing it. It seems fun. Seems like a good video game.
No,
My qualms were with it being full
Right.
price, but yeah, no, it
great.
looks like a very polished, perfect version of the game that it is. I was just like, is that really a $60 game in today, or was it 70?
Switch games are 50, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair.
So it...
That was my only thing, but yeah, it looks fine.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. That final boss fight is terrific, and it's so extra and awesome. This is one of those, like, B sci-fi settings where, like, there's just a race of bird people who are actually bird people, and everyone's fine with that. And you fight one, and they make him terrifying. And at one point, you shoot off his wing, and he is so metal that he just tears off his other wing and keeps fighting you. I love it. I'm totally fine with that being here. And that is to Ryan for a nomination.
I mean, it's got to be Near Replicant, right? Like, I don't fucking know. It's not gonna... I can't go below on your list.
Yeah. I think
So I guess it's Near Replicant.
yeah, 5 instead of 3. I think that's pretty good, Lucas.
I mean, it's just not gonna...
Yeah.
Like, I what am I gonna do? Go lower on Lucas's list to, like, have a game jump a game, even though the only person who played it thought it was worse than the game below it? I don't know. We've backed ourselves into a corner with the logic.
Yeah.
And you've also put me in a position where I got to start nominating some of your guys' games. Otherwise, this is going to get tricky for me.
Well, we've all said what 4 is.
Yeah.
If we're comfortable with it.
I'm totally fine with Near Replicant here. Near Replicant at, what is this, number 5? 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4,
5.
5. Yep. Hauntingly sad, weird game. It was made with zero budget, and I adore all of the interesting ways that it cuts corners. This game briefly turns into, like, an original Resident Evil ripoff. It briefly turns into a weird text adventure, and that's charming to me. Yeah, number 5.
There you
All right. Am I gonna... For the number 4 position, I would like to nominate my number 10 game of 2021, Battlefield 2042.
Let's go.
Hovercrafts, flying up buildings.
Shooting rocket launchers at helicopters and blowing them up.
Have you seen the Silver Surfer stuff?
No.
That's been happening with Sundance.
What?
Yeah.
Like, there's a glitch where Sundance goes into flying and then all of a sudden, like, stands up into her, like, soldier shoot pose.
Yeah.
And so, but she's still flying around. So it looks like she's, like, Silver Surfering it. Like,
There's one where if you get hit with explosive damage while doing Sundance, like if a grenade goes off near you somehow or like a plane blows up, you'll just start dancing, basically. You do, like, all of the injured animations at once, but you keep flying.
I miss playing a Battlefield game. I realized that. I haven't been deep into Battlefield since, like, high school, and I miss this. And I know my enjoyment of this game is just going to double once Hank and Jed, Neebs Gaming, whatever the fuck they're calling themselves now, makes a new season of Battlefield Friends centered on this. Fucking let's go.
yeah.
That goes to Andrew for the number 3 nomination. Andrew, there is a way this can work out where we're all happy, and all I'm asking is that you don't get greedy. We all see a path here.
I see it too. And Lucas, I want you to know I'm doing this because I care about you, and also because you're going to have to owe me a favor. For number 3, and I think you can see the math of where this is going to end up if I do this. Number 3, I'd like to nominate Deathloop.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
100%.
Yeah.
Only because it
I thought you
benefits
were
me.
gonna-
But you owe me.
I'm aware.
All right.
Why? Why does Lucas owe you?
Because this
So-
opens up the opportunity for No More Heroes 3 to be either 1 or 2.
Yes.
No More Heroes 3 is my nomination. It's going to be 2, and then Resident Evil 8 will be number 1.
I think we just finished gaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Once Battlefield 2042 slotted in at 4,
Yeah.
that was pretty much it.
Andrew, do you want to? I don't know. Give me the pitch on Deathloop, man. Like, what do you see in this game? What makes it more than just the weird incest game to you?
It's literally not the weird incest game. There's a line of dialogue where it's like, I think we dated. Did we, like, hook up or something? And then later you find out that it's your daughter, and that's it. It's just, there's a lot of really great mechanics. It's a cool time loop where you, like, the more that you die, the more that you learn about the environment that you're playing in, the people that you're going to have to fight. I mean, you really liked Hades, and I really liked Hades too. It's the same kind of shtick that way, where death is part of it, and repetition is part of it, and you get to really figure out the tools you're going to bring to each fight, and how you're going to use them to like take on the task that you're presented with of killing all these people and breaking the loop. You get fucking superpowers. You can teleport places and go invisible and use telekinesis to throw people around, and then you can shoot them in the face with a shotgun. Like, it's dope. It's just fun to play, which is what video games are supposed to be.
I do like that it has a kick button. Like, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Okay. It's fair. I'm never going to check this one out, I think, but
That's fair.
I don't have it in me to play what's secretly a sad dad game. Like, I don't got it. I can't do it anymore.
I mean, the story is almost non-existent. Like,
Okay.
that's fine. It's not it doesn't have to be a sad dad game.
So I need to talk about No More Heroes 3 quickly. Yeah. This is a punk rock game. It's like nothing else. It shouldn't exist. There shouldn't be a game out in 2021 with the state of mainstream gaming being what it is, where you are playing as a 40-year-old man wearing a fuck racism hoodie and killing a character that's a metaphor for childhood nostalgia being weaponized for fucking Gamergate mentalities. That shouldn't be a thing. That shouldn't be a thing when Jeff Keighley is out here saying shit like, yeah, guys, bullying is wrong. Online communities should be better. This game is just so nakedly political, and I love that. I love that every character in this is just a cool dirtbag, that these are 30-somethings, 40-somethings who are still hanging out in their rundown apartment making podcasts about movies that they like, because that's the kind of 30 and 40-year-old I want to be. It's brilliant and wonderful, and I don't even care that it's not number one, because the guy who made it, Suda51, absolutely did not care about it making any best game of 2021 lists, and if anything, I think it being number two is in the spirit of his vision. So, I'm fine.
Cool.
Resident Evil 8
Hey, that
was good and creepy.
he really was a fucking zombie the entire time. It's weird. Wait, did he make a kid when he was a zombie, or was Mia pregnant? Oh, huh. Is that why she's psychic, or is that because of Miranda being weird?
I mean, she definitely has powers because she is the progeny of a zombie mold man.
Okay. So, zombie cum made cool shit happen. Got it. Okay.
Basically.
Also, maybe her age faster? That seems like an issue.
And they call her Evelyn, which was the original zombie mold girl lady from the first game.
Bad decision, Mia. Don't name your daughter after a bioweapon that terrorized you. Bad move.
No, not. Wait.
Yeah,
no.
her name was.
Then I can't remember what the original girl's name was.
No, I'm pretty sure.
I think she's somehow a clone of her.
Oh, because he turned into a mold man that was made with the DNA of the girl from 7. So okay.
Yeah.
This
Resident Evil.
This makes sense in the fiction. You fight a giant fish man. You fight. Okay, you don't fight a giant fetus. You run away from a giant fetus.
You fight Rocky Rococo.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that for Hindenburg. Yes. Oh, fuck. Vampire Lady Big. Maybe isn't even the hottest woman in that game. Mother Miranda has some weird stuff going on. I don't know. I've seen some fan art.
Okay.
All right, so then our final list of the top 10 video games of 2021, from 10 to 1, we have Mario Golf Super Rush, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Hell Let Loose, New Pokemon Snap, Metroid Dread, Nier Replicant, Battlefield 2042, Deathloop, No More Heroes 3, and Resident Evil 8 Village.
And for all of Andrew's complaining about how much Lucas would dominate the category, he lost by 15 points.
Wait, what?
So, yeah, Lucas had 43 points, Andrew had 28. So, only 15 points behind Lucas coming out of the category where Andrew only had 4 games. And he got them all on the list. And I got all mine on the list. With a lovely 8 points bringing up the rear.
I think we all played that one well as could be expected. Are we feeling good? We want to take a break, or are we rolling right into shows?
TV shows.
Shows.
Okay. Ryan gets the first pick on this one, so do you want to go through your 10 shows quick?
Let's do it.
Cool.
Number 10, Rick and Morty. For a while, I had a million other shows. I want a quick run through my honorable mentions. I got Curb Your Enthusiasm, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, Impeachment, American Crime Story. I think I did. I'm putting Hard Knocks in season, the other two, Only Murders in the Building, and there was one more, but I forgot it. Those all honestly could make this list. They're great shows. Just didn't make my top 10 because it's fucking rough out here, man.
I want to cut in super quick, and like, if it wasn't clear going into a top 10 episode, like, spoilers abound. I saw the clip from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Charlie meets his real dad, and like, holy shit, I forgot Charlie Day could act. Like, that is...
Charlie Day is far and away the best actor on the show.
Goddamn. Okay.
And
yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Okay, sorry, go on.
But yeah, so anyway, ended up with Rick and Morty. I did like the season overall.
Yeah.
I think it had a lot of shitty episodes that I didn't like at all, and you guys thought were okay. So that's why it ended up being more as in like the 6 range for you guys and fell down to like 10 for me. But, you know, I think it's totally worthwhile, and I'm splitting hairs when I get down to 10 because I have a lot of good shows that I thought were good. Number 9 was Evil. Season 1 of Evil was a show that like was like interesting because it was like on broadcast and they were pushing boundaries. Season 2 of Evil was genuinely good. Like I went into it thinking, I like season 1, and like, you know, Angel, she likes season 1. Like, let's check out season 2. It'll probably be fine. And genuinely coming away like, no shit, this is a show with something to say, and it's like kind of fascinating, to be honest. Like the whole struggle with good versus evil, like what is real, what isn't, unreliable narrators, like genuinely a very, like, it came into its own season 2, and I'm really excited for season 3. Great show. Number 8 had Q Into the Storm, a really good docuseries about the origins of QAnon and the guy, and spoiler alert, they basically found the guy who at least became Q for a while. Like, we don't know if he was always Q, but at least eventually the admin for 8chan eventually just admitted that he was Q in the documentary, which is pretty fucking gold. And yeah, you just follow all the various players, the founder of 8chan, the administrator of 8chan, the money behind 8chan, just like all this shit that has become just a nightmare, an American nightmare. And it's fascinating and really good. Number 7, I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. It's interesting that even though I really liked it and Andrew didn't, I ended up having it in basically the same position as Andrew did. And Lucas had it way up at the top, and I feel like me and Lucas liked it at a similar rate. I really liked the show. It was a really good season 2. Fucking, I might argue it's the most quotable TV show of all time.
Yep.
Like, it is unbelievably fun to participate in the culture around the show, to the point where it kind of dwarfs the actual viewing experience, because when you can come back and someone can make a joke about the professor eating fucking Stephen Yoon's burger, which, I think we all agreed was probably the worst sketch of the season, and it's really funny, like the meme, the reference. I saw someone quoting does Antonio Brown ever just drop a huge fucking cum shot? Like, just like, and it was really funny. It was like, oh shit, this dude's and I Think You Should Leave viewer. In the sketch, like, so yeah, it's a really good show. Modern Marvel. There's nothing else like it on TV right now, and I love it. Number 6, Invincible. God, I really like the show and really don't like the animation style.
Yeah.
Like the whole art of the show just throws me for a fucking loop, but the story is worth it. And, like that's kind of what's holding it back at like number 6 versus like The Boys, which is a perennial top 3 in my top 10s. Just because, it's watchable. I don't have to just stare at the subtitles a lot of the time, with brief glances at the still frames that are on the screen. But yeah, really like it. It's a good story. I'm fascinated. I can't wait for season 2. Number 5, Ted Lasso. Probably the most populist show on my list other than Succession. Like, everyone and their mother loves this show. It's really good. It's feel-good TV. There's literally, like, not really an antagonist, which it sometimes suffers from, but also, like, lends it the just pure dopamine, I don't know, whatever. Like, it's a good...
It's a feel-good show.
Vibe. It's something that we need in these challenging times. So it's real good. It's a head above. I feel like Ted Lasso is kind of where I hit my, like, these shows are all masterpieces, like Emmy worthy crazy shit. Number 4, Squid Game, the phenomenon, the biggest show of the year probably, and it had its faults, but good God, it took a hold for good reason. I don't know if season 2 is going to be any good.
Yeah, who fucking knows,
of
man.
all these, I feel like I'm looking forward to the next season of all of these shows. I mean, with the exception of Q Into the Storm, because that was a limited series. All the other ones, I'm looking forward to the next season. I feel like season 2 of Squid Game might be fucking rough. I don't know. But at the very least, season 1, very good. Had some really big highs. Got everyone invested. And fucking did Hunger Games better than Hunger Games.
Yeah,
so
it really did.
Good on you, Squid Game. Number 3, What We Do in the Shadows. God damn, What We Do in the Shadows came out swinging.
Yep.
This was a really good season. I don't think I've laughed more out loud at any show than What We Do in the Shadows this year. Like, just really fucking good. From the beginning, the characters are unbelievable. The plot lines are really good. Unbelievable. Love the show. Number 2, Hacks. Dude, Hacks is so funny and so important and so good. There's a reason it showed up at the Emmys, and it's because, I mean, like, you've heard of the Bechdel test. Now imagine if the Bechdel test was a show. Like, the 2 leads are women in very different stages of their life who don't agree or see eye to eye on anything, and who never talk about men. Like, the whole show is them talking about shit other than men, and it's really fucking good. Jean Smart is a fucking revelation. Like, Jean Smart should be in everything. She is the voice of a generation, and God, she is unbelievably funny and unbelievably talented, and just, like, it belongs, man. Hacks season 2 is going to be one of the most anticipated seasons of TV, I believe, and it should be, like, for good reason. It hits you, man. It hits different, and when you're a younger, like, millennial trying to kind of fit in this world that's been so dictated by boomers, like, it's fucking good to have me sympathize with a multi-millionaire boomer that it's doing something right. Like, this shit's real good. And then number 1, like, come on, it's the show of the year. It's Succession. Like, this show just did nothing but deliver. The characters are unbelievable. It's now basically announced itself that it is not a show about the plot. This is a character study. With season 3, it took a very different direction than I was expecting in season 2, but not in, like, a bad way. Like, this is something that I didn't realize could be just as good, if not better, than what I thought it would be. Just, like, all-out war. Instead, it's just like, no, like, this is the world. This is the real world, how it is. Here's how these characters would actually behave in the real world. And it's fucking Succession, man. No. This is the show on top of everyone's list, and it belongs there. So that's my number 1. That's a fucking bulletproof top 10, man. Like I said, I got 7 shows waiting in the wings that could belong at number 10, and I can't, because I have to pick 10.
Fuck, this is going to be a really interesting one, because there is a lot of overlap between our lists, but so much variance in position.
Right.
Oh, boy.
And you have a show that you said was in your honorable mentions that I have ranked really highly in my list. And so it's a show that I'm going to be upset if it's not on the list. But I know you don't think it deserves to be on the list, and Lucas hasn't seen it. So,
I mean, look, Only Murders in the Building could easily be 10 for me. Like, that Rick and Morty becomes replaceable with, like I said, the other 7 shows on my list, and I shouted them all out. So yeah, if you throw out a show that's in my honorable mentions towards the bottom, I'm gonna be pretty okay with it, because all those it gets tough. I feel like my top 5 needs to make it at some level. Like those top 5 are fucking bulletproof shows that are in the top 5 of like everyone's list. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I can get a little flexible from 6 to 10.
Are they
in with my other 7 honorable mentions?
Are they our top 5 though? Before I get into mine, just want to shout this out quick, since I think we're coming up on time in this meeting. I will need the code to join the backup one. No, we're good still.
I mean, we haven't gotten an award.
Yeah.
But yeah,
maybe they got rid of it. Okay, fair.
Maybe we glitched it by coming out and being all fucked up.
Okay, my number 10 show of 2021, from the daughter of the person who created Baki, Beastars.
Did you guys shit on me for saying Christopher Nolan's brother?
No, I can shit on Lucas for saying that too. I mean,
no, hold on. I'm gonna make it work later. Just give me a little bit. It's a long.
No, but that's what I said, and you guys still shit on me. I said, yeah, I'll bring.
And I'm gonna shit on Lucas for it too.
And you guys still shit on me relentlessly. So no, you don't get to bring it together later.
Beastars is phenomenally weird. There is so much going on here that is impossible to break down thematically, and I don't even know what it is about at the end of the day, but I enjoy it. It's fun. It's weird. Coming in at number 9, from the father of the woman who created Beastars, Baki Grappler. The main character kidnaps President George W. Bush so that he can go to prison and fight a really strong guy in that prison in this season. Need I say more? Coming in at number 8, Jujutsu Kaisen. One of the biggest names in shonen right now. I'd call it a poor man's Chainsaw Man, which, y'all know me. That is as big of a compliment as I can give something. Number 7, Castlevania. That wrapped at the top of the year. Fucking brilliant. All around. What a way to close out this focus of the series. So many other references to shit I like. There is a full 5-minute sequence where it is just... the show briefly becomes Berserk, and now I really want the people who made this to make a Berserk anime, because they can do it well, unlike just about everybody else. Number 6, Rick and Morty. I'm Mr. Nimbus.
I control the police.
I'm gonna call the police. I control them. What? He controls the police.
He controls the police, Jerry.
Come on, Summer. It's Mr. Nimbus. He controls the police. God. Number 5, Squid Game. This is a really good death game show, and I liked it, and I hope it gets other people into other death game shows that I like a lot. Other death game just setups. The fucking Danganronpa games. That one season of One Piece. That is my favorite arc of One Piece. Good genre TV that I hope gets people deeper into that genre. Number 4 for me, What We Do in the Shadows. Fucking God, the character work on this one. Really exploring these people's relationships for the first time. And also what makes them tick. Like, on some level, I think I knew that Nandor still thought that the Earth was the entire universe and was riding on top of a turtle. No, riding on top of elephants that are on top of a turtle.
Yeah.
But
on top of a turtle.
But to have Colin Robinson scientifically walk him through like the thousands of years of scientific development that he missed out on was that was devastating for that character and hilarious. Coming in at number 3, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stone Ocean. I said this off mic, but yeah, I like this a lot. This is my top anime of the year. There's going to be more Stone Ocean next year. by the rules of this podcast, it is eligible both this year and next year. I won't put it on if it gets in our general top 10s this year, but if it doesn't, I will be insufferable next year.
This is the pitch you gave me while we were playing Battlefield a couple days ago when you tried to curry favor.
Still true. Number 2, I think you should leave with Tim Robinson. This is just manners comedy. This is just creating the most inappropriate reaction, the most inappropriate situations out of utterly mundane stuff, and I adore it. Fucking Tim Robinson is the only person who could create this and star in so many of these sketches. Like, he is just an uncomfortable man. Like, that is his presence on screen, and he carries so much of this show. And then at number 1 for me, Kevin Can Fuck Himself, a show that bridges sitcom and drama with a very meta setup and just... I don't think either of you guys have watched any of this. I really hope that you do next year. It is devastating. It is devastating because I have interacted with people like Kevin in real life. These people who manage to be so charming and fun and agreeable in just casual conversations, but the second you are like really pulled into their orbit, you realize how they destroy the lives of everyone around them. This show really captured that. And that's my top 10. To you, Andrew.
All right. So, for my top 10s, at number 10, a TV show that if it gets on the list, I will kill myself. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The show that single-handedly made me decide I don't want to really watch any more MCU shit. With the exception of Spider-Man.
Join the dark side.
After Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out, Loki came out, which a lot of people told me was like legitimately really good. Like, not just by Marvel standards, just like a good TV show, and that I would really enjoy it. And I believe them, and I just can't do it.
Oh.
It asks a lot of questions and suggests that it might be like saying a lot of things and then gives up on all of it and says, actually, no, the police and America is good, and even though black people are treated really bad, they should still be patriotic. And it's a fucking nightmare. Number 9, Love, Death, and Robots. I watched the 2nd season on Netflix this year. It's a animated anthology series that I think is really cool in concept because each episode is made by a different group of people. It's got different writing. The animation styles are completely different for each episode. It's just not very many of the sci-fi stories are all that interesting or compelling. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are just, I don't know, kind of saying things that have already been said, or just being like, man, wouldn't that be fucked up? Which is the problem that you run into with anthology series where each episode's like 15 minutes. So just, Number 8, I've got I Think You Should Leave. I didn't like it nearly as much as you guys did. It's the kind of show that for me, it made me laugh because it was so stupid. And that, like, I do have a problem not quoting. It's like what Ryan said. It's a very quotable show. I do quote it all the time. But I did not enjoy watching it. Number... what is that? 7? Yeah, number 7, I've got Archer. I thought this season of Archer was good. Not as funny as, some of the OG seasons of Archer, but it was more serialized and told an actual story and dived into the characters. So I thought that was cool. Then at number 6, I've got Rick and Morty. I liked a lot of the episodes that Ryan did not like. I think Lucas agreed on most of the episodes that were good and which ones were bad with me. But there were a couple of episodes that were just like, man, why are we doing this? This shouldn't have been made. Then I've got Wandavision, a show that I was surprised Lucas didn't have on his list because I thought he really enjoyed watching it. A show that made me think briefly that I would get back into watching all the MCU stuff. What they were doing with like sitcoms throughout the different eras and the weird, creepy double reality was really cool. I enjoyed that. Then at number 4, I've got The Witcher. I've seen a little more than half of the second season so far. I'm really enjoying it. It's good. Henry Cavill is fucking cool. The lore that they're building is really, really nice. They're getting into a lot of like the politics and the genocide and the struggles between the different races on the continent and where do monsters come from and all that kind of stuff. Then at number 3, I've got Invincible. I think I would maybe put The Witcher where Invincible is, except Invincible is a new series, and I really enjoyed just that first season of getting to know all these characters. And like Ryan said, the animation's awful. It sucks. But the characters are cool, the voice acting's great, it's got a hell of a cast. And then, yeah, it's cool to dive into this different superhero universe than what we're used to. It's the same thing with The Boys. You eat that shit up. It's good. Number 2, I've got Only Murders in the Building. Lucas, I think you would actually really like this show. Unironically, just like podcast aside. It's a murder mystery about a group of people that really like a podcast and decide to make their own murder mystery podcast when someone in their building gets killed. There's so many twists and turns. There's so much star power in this show. It's ridiculous. And then the main trio of Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez, so good. The performances are really good. The chemistry between the three of them is really fun. I will never understand how Martin Short will ever play a straight character, but yeah. It's like, I saw a tweet today that says, like, me 3 episodes into any Martin Short performance. Wait, you're telling me this guy's straight?
For a brief moment, I wasn't sure if you meant he was the straight man in the show's humor or heterosexual, but okay.
Yeah, no, Martin Short is heterosexual in this show, and I just don't believe it. Don't buy it. Anyway, like, I thought it was really cool. I really enjoyed watching it with Jade. I know, Ryan, you said you thought it like slowed down and like it didn't keep the momentum. I disagree wholeheartedly. I think it kept escalating as the series went on.
Also, isn't Martin Short straight?
Yeah, no, he is.
Throw that out
he
there.
is.
Okay. Just making sure that we get that out
no,
there.
Martin Short is straight.
Is heterosexual.
Yeah. Dude, don't buy it.
Okay.
Oh boy, Andrew, I was ready to defend you on that one, but it's dropping down a couple of points now.
No, I'm talking about his character. Like, he plays the same character in everything that he's in.
His wife died 10 years ago, and he's probably pretty upset.
I'm not. This is not a dig on Martin Short. He's playing like a very flamboyant.
He's playing Martin Short.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you've never seen a Martin Short thing, I guess you'd be surprised, but that's who Martin Short is. It's this whole thing.
Anyway, like it's. I think it's very, very good. And I think you would appreciate it, Lucas. Oh, and then number 1, Squid Game. We already talked about it. It was my number 1 show of the year. I can understand, if you had watched a little bit more TV, how it wouldn't be your number 1, but we all really liked it. Mm-hmm. It's fucking devastating. It's so anxiety inducing. And it's really good. And I think I'm on the same boat as Ryan, as I don't think season 2 can be nearly as good as this show. It's almost like Westworld. Even though I really liked season 2 of Westworld, it's kind of like you had this really cool concept and you played it out to its entirety. Mm-hmm. Where do you go? It kind of becomes a normal television show moving forward.
So
I think that's where we go with Squid Game, but who knows?
The problem with season 2 of Squid Game is that they have to get a whole new crew together to do a season 2 of Squid Game, and like the main characters of the first season were really good, and like
they're all gone.
Yeah, by the nature of
the cop. Are the only
the cop, and the warden guy or whatever.
I'm
the captain.
That's what I'm saying. The only protagonists left.
I'm still 50-50 on the cop, but okay.
The cop is fucking alive.
He's alive, dude. Come on.
Okay. Ryan, it is your nomination for the number 10 show of 2021. What's it gonna be?
It's easy. It's Evil, man. Evil's a fucking show.
Ooh.
Like you're talking about like the issues of Catholicism and touching on like Christianity and how like it was Shin Megami Tensei.
Yes.
They just didn't go there.
Yeah.
Fucking Evil goes there. Like the main character is studying to become a Catholic priest and is constantly like being tempted by literal demonic forces, whether or not you believe that's like his psychology or if that's like actual like canon shit that's going on in the show's universe is up to you, the viewer. But at the very least, he's like battling literal demons because he's like, the Catholic Church kind of fucking sucks, huh? But like, I work for them. And at the same time, there's these like literal demons that are like killing people and trying to like take over the planet. So like, it's hard for me to not like join in this fight. And then like, yeah, there's the main character becomes a murderer in this season. Just straight up kills a guy, like a housewife of 4 daughters, just fucking goes to a dude's house who, granted, was a convicted serial killer who got off on a technicality and kills him. And yeah, just cold blood, and is dealing with the fallout of that all season long, and like how she's now like, is this real? Am I actually being possessed by the devil? I'm an atheist. Like, this doesn't make sense. But at the same time, how the fuck else do I explain all this shit? Like, it's fucking, I'm telling you, it took a step up, and I have no qualms about this being, like, at number 9. And yeah, I went into it thinking, yeah, it'd be, like, an interesting honorable mention. But no, like, this show proved itself. It fucking belongs, man. This shit's good.
I'll vote
That's
for
enough
it.
that's enough of a pitch for me. That is more than enough.
Evil. And honestly, like, I think I'd be curious if you guys would like it. The problem is you have to start. I think season 1's a little weaker.
Yeah.
Season 1 was on broadcast. It had more limitations. Season 2 just has a monologue of the guy I was talking about, the Catholic priest, just repeating the word fuck for like a minute straight. I think the creators were like, oh, we're on streaming now. Let's literally go crazy with it. But yeah, it's still a good show in season 1, and I'm curious if you'd like it. So Lucas.
I'd like to nominate Castlevania for number 9. Oh, wow. Ryan, you liked the first 2 episodes of Castlevania.
I mean, I like thought it was better than I was expecting. I don't know, man. I don't like that art style. It's unfair to that whole genre, sure, but I don't like the art style, and I can't put it on this list, man. I got good shit on here. Gotta get on.
There's
gotta go.
When you shut me down that quick, like there's not even a pivot I can do to try to turn you guys on it. Like, I know this is a lost cause, so fine. Andrew.
Rick and Morty.
What?
At number 9?
That's your
low,
5th show.
I'll say
Dude,
yes.
you could have gotten
Yeah.
away with so much more. Okay.
I've got it at 10, so yeah, I guess I'll
Yeah.
say yes. But it's I feel like it'd be a little low.
I don't know.
Expect.
I don't know if I'd be able to, like, by the time it comes around. I don't know.
I
feel
okay,
good.
safe
I feel
bet,
good
yeah.
about it there. Yeah.
Fair.
I don't have a whole lot of leverage in the games category, so I'm not going to try to like push my luck and like miss out on points at all. You know.
Press your luck.
I will. Okay.
I mean, only Murders in the Building would have been fair.
Okay. I the more I think about this, the more cool I am with Rick and Morty at number 9, because man, what's like the big quotable stuff from this season other than Mr. Nimbus? Like, yeah, the Thanksgiving turkey episode was great. Fucking the anime episode was made for me. Planetina I liked a lot, but like, yeah. Rick and Morty's getting a little stale. I'm sorry.
Fair.
Ryan.
It leaves me in the unenviable position. Honestly, Q Into the Storm, even though it's number 8, is the one I'm most okay with being left off the list.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of don't want to put it in at 8 because I get the feeling that one of y'all fuckers is going to sneak one in there.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like, the only other like reasonable option to put here would be Ted Lasso, and that's just so fucking low, man. This show is like winning all the Emmys and everyone loves it, and having Ted Lasso at number 7 on our
It's-
list feels like a fucking travesty.
It's really hard to nominate something in your top 5 for something outside of the top 5. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, I Think You Should Leave is going to end up probably being higher, and that's fair.
Why not here?
I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah. You know what? Fair. Yeah, I'll say I Think You Should Leave. That's fair.
God.
Me and Andrew both have it low.
Yeah.
We're going to see how much we can squeeze into the top for me, but yeah. Fair. I feel like I was expecting it more at like 6, which is why... But no, that's fair. I'll take it.
I don't know how to hear no more about No Tables.
That's season 1, isn't it?
No,
No,
that's season 2.
Tables is season 2.
Oh, that was season
That's
1?
one of the
Yeah.
last
Season 2?
sketches of the
That's right.
season. It's
That's right.
it's in the last episode.
God, so fucking...
They told me I'm full of shit. They told me I'm faking everything. They said that to me at a dinner.
The executives at DirecTV think I'm just some dumb hick. They said that to me at a dinner. God damn it. It's too good. I do feel a little sad. But then I'm looking and I'm like, number 7. Yeah.
Don't you?
What you got, Lucas? I think there's a very good show that you should nominate here, and I don't want to tell you what it is, but I think there's a show that you should nominate here because I would say yes to it, and I hope you do, because otherwise you're going to be disappointed.
There are 2 shows that you could be talking about right now, I think, and
You know which one it is. You don't want it to be the one, but it is the one.
I'd like to nominate JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean.
No! It's not the one.
What were you suggesting?
Kevin can fuck himself.
That's what I thought you were going for.
Yeah. That's a show that got actual acclaim and that I just genuinely didn't get around to this year, and I would have been fine
You
with
guys
it.
are making this decision right now. I know Stone Ocean isn't going to be able to get any higher on this list.
No.
You are Xing it out for this year.
Sorry, man.
No, don't be sorry to me. Be sorry to future you. Okay?
This is how it works every year. You declare war on us, and then it's like, well, how are we supposed to work with you?
Yeah, no,
Lucas?
you're
Like,
not. You never
Give me a
offer anything.
Kwanzaa. Give me my second bet.
You could have nominated it at 9, and then maybe had a shot.
Yeah, you could have put it on the
At
list
7,
somewhere.
No way.
Honestly, I was worried Rick and Morty wouldn't be able to get in the top 10 this year, like in any position.
Oh, Rick and Morty.
You think so?
We
Okay.
all 3 of us have it on the list.
I was comfortable with it at like 6.
Oh,
or 7.
fair.
100%. I would have won for that.
Okay, buckle up for 2022, the year Lucas
That's
doesn't
what you
give
said
a fuck.
last year. We can keep doing it every year. You keep pushing us away.
Andrew, to you.
Wait, isn't? Oh wait. Oh,
Yeah.
so that was your actual nomination.
That was his
No,
nomination.
you think I would say the word nomination without knowing the full impact of what that brings?
Okay, sorry. No, I thought that conversation was still happening. So this is 7, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I would like to nominate The Witcher for number 7 because I think it's a really good show. I know that neither of you guys have ever gotten around to like playing the games or reading any of the books or anything. It's something that I genuinely think that you both would enjoy. Lucas, you so more than Ryan. It really gets into the high fantasy shit with also being like really gritty. Yeah.
So
I watched the first few episodes. I don't know if you did, Lucas.
I watched the first 3 episodes.
You watched the
fucking
first 2.
hated
I know
that
you watched
show,
the first
man.
2 episodes, Lucas, because you said like, man, I really wish that Bard guy would have come back, and he does.
So
He's one of the main. He's like one of the 3 main cast.
I watched the first episode. I watched the second episode, which maybe that one has a song in it. I'm not totally sure. And then I watched the third episode where the hot magic girl like becomes the hot magic girl. Like that. I think I saw the first 3.
I forgot that was
Yeah.
the 3rd episode of season 1. It's hard for me to remember because it came out 2 full years ago.
I promise I'm not being vindictive here, although you did just murder my baby. I'm comfortable with this being on your top 10 list, Andrew. I'm not comfortable with it being on the podcast top 10 because you haven't seen all of season 2 even.
We went over this.
It's allowed. It's definitely allowed,
Right.
but it can be taken into account 100%. That can be
You are
a thing.
saying the first...
What
You
if
guys
the
had
last episodes
qualms
are
with it
garbage?
though that I didn't know about beforehand. Do
what?
you have the qualms of, since I haven't seen the full season, it being on the list, Ryan? Okay, so what's your take? I vote for it at number 7.
I hated this fucking
Oh!
show. This was one of my
damn.
least favorite shows I've ever seen in my entire life.
Are you kidding me?
I could not stand the episodes that I saw of The Witcher, man. Like I'm the same as you, man. I'm a fantasy boy.
Yeah.
I like fantasy. And I watched 2 hours of this dude playing The Witcher 3 on his Switch in the row in front of me on one of my flights 2 days ago. I don't.
Good
yeah,
game.
It looks
Good game,
it
good
looks
port.
Fine. I don't. I have the thing is, like I said, Q Into the Storm is the only show that I'm actually pretty comfortable with not being on this list. So I get one show that is gonna make it, and I'm looking at your list. I think there's one that you'd prefer makes it over this one, and if it means either getting 2 of my shows booted or one, I feel like I might have to say no.
Okay.
It's tough. If you want Only Murders, I feel like it's going to be hard to say yes to this too.
Okay.
For me, that's where I'm coming.
I
I don't really
The valley.
I don't really have any qualms with you not finishing it. I do think that what if the show is garbage and just does not stick the landing at all and falls flat in its face? But I haven't seen that online, so if I had, I would have more qualms, I think.
I don't know. For me, it is. I have some episodes on here. I have some shows on here that I have watched all the way through twice, and you're saying a show you haven't even finished is the number 6.
It just came out. I didn't have enough time to watch it.
It does depend on the type of show too, and The Witcher is super serialized. But yeah, if it's an episodic show like Always Sunny or something, then fuck it. You don't have to see the whole season to understand how good it is. But yeah. Anyway,
I think that is back to you, Ryan, and now you can.
I know.
Who do you want to curry favor with?
I mean, I can't curry favor with you. You've declared total war.
I mean, well, if you,
I shall search the fields.
Is it not total war anymore? Yeah.
listen. Okay,
I will ravage your
my
women. I shall
my exact
poison
wording.
your wells.
My exact wording is that it'd be insufferable in 2022. Okay.
So not this year.
So I don't know, if you wanted to throw out Kevin Can Fuck Himself for number 6, yeah, maybe I'd be down
number
for that.
7. We're still on number 7.
Oh my God, we're still on number
Yeah, I
7.
know.
Oh.
And I still think that Ted Lasso, it's low for Ted Lasso at number 7.
So then,
I feel bad.
I mean,
Can I rely on you, Ryan, to let Only Murders in the Building somewhere on the list?
this man gave it an honorable mention, Andrew.
No, it's low-ish still. I wish that I could have flipped. All right, here's my thing. Would you say yes if I said Only Murders in the Building now? Or do I have... Is that against the rules, what I just did? Is that against the rules? Because if it is, then I can retract that statement.
I don't think you're
decide
allowed
if
to
that's
ask
against the
that
rules.
question.
Okay,
Yeah.
Retracted. Fuck. Because I would do it here. I'd do it at 7. If that means that that's it.
Would you do it at 6?
And I'm good. Who's going to put it at 6?
Well, we can, since Lucas has
gonna fuck over
declared
Lucas,
total
or
war,
just-
we can veto whatever he says.
Just denying whatever Lucas says, no matter what.
he declared
Not even gonna
total
hear
war.
the man out.
Or you could put it here.
Yeah, I'll do Only Murders in the Building at 7. I think that's...
All right.
I don't hate it. I wish that it would have been lower, because I think you should leave Belongs definitely over it. But I didn't think we'd be where we are now with total war having been declared and with Andrew going for The Witcher. And now we're here, and I'm like, whatever, it works. And look, other people did like the show more than me. I saw it pretty consistently in people's top 10 lists. I'll acknowledge that I didn't like the show as much as the general public. And I thought Selena Gomez was flat as fuck.
Oh,
like
really?
Her performance was stand out, not good in comparison. Like she's just not that caliber of actress, and is a weird fit in the first place, so she better fucking absolutely knock it out of the park and be like the runaway success, and she wasn't, just a whole thing. So anyway, nope, that's our 7th best show.
Andrew, any redeeming qualities you want to put out quick?
I mean, I already gave my...
Oh, no, look, it's a good show. Martin Short and Steve Martin have unbelievable chemistry.
Yeah, they've been doing this shit for a while.
From the very beginning. And they're fucking titans for good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are, and fucking Nathan Lane. Like, dude, come on. When Nathan Lane is like 5th billing in your show, like you got something. That's insane. So, yeah.
Lucas, I think you'll appreciate, not because you like either of these people, but just because it's funny. Throughout the show, Steve Martin his character talks about his stunt double. He's like a washed up. Was an actor for like a crime TV show in like the 80s or whatever. That's his character. And he keeps talking about his stunt double, like kind of one-upping him on everything. His stunt double is Jane Lynch.
Yeah. A woman.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. Yeah. Okay, you sold me on it.
That's a good subplot for sure when she shows up. And I kept thinking, well, that's a spoiler. If Lucas is actually going to watch it, I don't want to say anything.
All right. For number 6, I'd like to nominate Kevin Can Fuck Himself. This show, I know you guys know intimately what it's like just to be around, even be in a town with just nothing going on, with just like, this is a place that's depicted in media as like, this is the heartland, this is real America. And then in actuality, you're there and it's like, oh yeah, casual drug problems are just super common. Like this place is awful. The only people who are actually here are people who never had the courage to leave or have fucked up other places and have nowhere else to go to besides this place. Kevin Can Fuck Himself captures that so perfectly.
I think I would like this show. I've said it before. Mm-hmm. Here's where I stand, Lucas. If I say yes, either Succession or Hacks is getting excluded. Or Ted Lasso. Like, that's just a fact at this point. Like, and those shows are fucking shows of the year that won all the Emmys. Like, and once again, I am for the list. And now I regret going for Evil at 10. Because, yeah, I could have gone with... But then again, Ted Lasso, that's too low. Like, it's rough, man. I don't know. Andrew, you can say yes if you want, and I'll just fucking kill myself.
I don't know.
You didn't hear my, explanation of Hacks, but, basically, to sum it up, it's the Bechdel test, the show. It fucking passes it, not only with flying colors, but, with a middle finger to the men who devised the Bechdel test, even being necessary. It's what if... 2 women never talked about men. They led the show by exclusively never talking about men once and only talking about actual things of importance. And, a millennial struggling against, just fucking a boomer tyrant. It belongs, man. And Ted Lasso fucking belongs. And Succession fucking belongs. And What We Do in the Shadows fucking belongs. And Squid Game and Invincible fucking belong. And for me, the top 6 is my top 6.
Man,
I'm scared.
You can't ask for the top 6 though. That's you could be I feel like the top 5 are the top 5 best shows. Top 6, you're getting greedy on top 6.
But Invincible's getting on because Andrew has Invincible, and Squid Game is getting on because we all have Squid Game. What We Do in the Shadows is getting on because we have What We Do in the Shadows. So I'm looking at the 3 that are left out, and I'm like, Succession, Hacks, and Ted Lasso, the 3 most successful shows of the last year. They fucking belong, man.
This is...
In any other situation, I would agree. Maybe, look, Ted Lasso can go 6. If Hacks goes 5, sure. And then we can get it to, like, where Squid Game and What We Do in the Shadows and Invincible are higher than I have them. Sure. But, like... They gotta go, man. Those 3 gotta go. And I watched Only Murders in the Building, and Only Murders in the Building had more acclaim than Kevin Can Fuck Himself, and had more like awards buzz, and like insiders liked it more. So if I had to choose between those 2, I chose Only Murders in the Building for the sake of the list.
That's because Kevin Can Fuck Himself came out on Showtime, a station nobody watched. No, Showtime, not even FX.
No. Fair.
Man, Andrew, it's to you. You know,
man, I'm struggling with this one, and I'm struggling this one for like actual list reasons, just because.
No, it's AMC, by the way.
Oh, huh?
No, just
fair.
I've never seen it. I've never even seen Kevin Can Wait.
No one's seen Kevin.
Yeah, I know, but isn't this like
who in our age group has seen Kevin Can Wait?
Isn't this like a weird like take on Kevin Can Wait?
Well,
it's a parody of sitcom wives in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Kevin Can Wait was the peak sitcom wife, because the sitcom wife got fucking murdered.
Yeah.
So that Leo Remini could be reunited with Kevin James.
Fucking Christ.
Shit, man. I don't know. So like trying to figure this out. If Kevin Can Wait was here, that would be 6.
Kevin Can Fuck Himself.
If Kevin Can Fuck Himself was here at 6. I'm trying to think of what the other 5 would be.
Can we just take a minute to appreciate that they even went for that with the title of Kevin Can Fuck Himself? Like, they're just going for it. Like, this is very explicitly a reaction to, that entire, like, shitty genre, shitty tropes, but specifically this very successful TV show. Like, they're like, fuck this in particular, it's a problem. That alone, I think, makes it deserve a spot on our list, but fair.
I'll bring it up again, man. If I could go back in time, I would get Kevin Can Fuck Himself on there and get Evil off. As sad as I am, I can deal with Evil and Q Into the Storm not being on the list, but fucking Ted Lasso, Hacks, and Succession just gotta be on it for me.
I'm sorry, Lucas. This is not a list.
It's not fair.
No. I am sorry. I just
that it sucks because this is the one.
I'm trying to think of.
But
a lot of these shows I haven't seen. Like the shows that are going to be left off or making this list are going to be Succession, Hacks, and Kevin Can Fuck Himself. I haven't seen any of them. It's not really fair for me to make the decision which ones make the list. But Hacks and Succession do sound a little bit more like I would like them. And that's it. I'm sorry. I know it's not fair. It's not.
There's also the fact that, I did say, Lucas, please nominate this certain show so that I can get it on the list. And you said, you're right, Ryan, JoJo's. And I was like, that's not the one that I was hoping you would say.
You act like it's not within your power to nominate somebody else's show to give them that.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it is.
At the time, then it went to Andrew, and then it went to me.
You nominated, I think you should leave with Tim Robinson. That easily could have been JoJo's, and then I do Tim Robinson in the next one.
That could not have been JoJo's. JoJo's is a 10, man. JoJo's is like an honorary mention list. You know that, man.
Andrew, you now have the power to do
I'm gonna
the most hurtful, hilarious thing. Coward.
What was I gonna? What would be the most hurtful, hilarious thing?
He's gonna fuck me over and
you could have
say
anything
you want.
You could have said Archer.
It wasn't Archer. Wouldn't have made it. Like you wouldn't have voted for it.
Yes, he would have. Out of spite. Lucas is mad.
I liked Archer when I was like a sophomore in high school. I'd be fine with it being on there.
I'm gonna go with Invincible.
I'll say yes.
I'm not putting it on. I'm not gonna control.
Invincible belongs on this.
I'm not
list.
control Ving that one. Like,
if you
fine.
watched Invincible, you'd like it.
No, yes, I agree. Invincible should be on there. Like, the advertising was garbage, but no, everything I've heard about the show is phenomenal.
I never
otherwise,
saw an ad.
I saw ads.
I literally never saw it promoted. That's the main reason I didn't watch it, I think, is because the first time I heard of it was when Andrew was talking about the meme, and I was like, what? What's this show?
I think, the ads were garbage partially because, like, obviously they couldn't put any of the gory or, like, the cursing in the ads, so it did just look like a colorful children's superhero cartoon. And presented itself that way for the first, like, 20 minutes of the first episode, and then got real fast.
Yeah.
I think that is to Ryan then.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the lowest of mine, and I actually had it at 5. I'll go with Ted Lasso. Just throw it in there. Like, it's a feel-good show. I'm sure, like, Ian watched it and really loved it, so I'm sure it's in your circle. It won just every fucking Emmy, and, like, reasonably so. Imagine if they made an IP about, like, a just random one-off ad campaign, and it became just fucking unbelievably wholesome and, like, exactly what people need during the pandemic. Like, and it's a pandemic show. It launched post-pandemic and then had season 2 post-pandemic. Like, it has never existed outside of the world we currently find ourselves in, and maybe it never will. Maybe the pandemic will last forever, looking at how cases are higher now than they've ever been, which is insane, almost 2 years into a pandemic.
And did the quarantine cast too early?
It might be back soon. We'll find out. So yeah.
Andrew, before you give your response, I just have a question for you. Are we fucking normies?
Are you and I normies? Or is who normies? Is who normies?
However you want to interpret the question, go for it. Because, like, how you answer this question will solidify how you, if you say yes or no to Ryan's nomination, will solidify this one way or another.
I mean,
but okay. Just keep in mind.
I don't see how you're a normie.
And The Masked Singer.
I don't see how liking Ted Lasso does not make you a normie. I will say that since I find myself on, like, just hardcore shit posting Twitter a lot, because I don't know, man. Ted Lasso is, like, one of the most hated shows of that corner of the internet. Yeah.
Really?
It's the corner of the internet that just really hates things that people like. It's the corner of the internet where everyone really hated...
irony poisoned.
Everyone really hated Licorice Pizza until other people started seeing Licorice Pizza and also didn't like it. And then they were forced to say that they liked Licorice Pizza. So it's a bad part of the internet, but yeah, a lot of people don't like Ted Lasso. I'm gonna say it seems fun, and for the meme value alone, I'll give it the nod.
It's a good show. You should watch it. It's wholesome, and it honestly becomes a drama at a lot of points. So I know you're not as big into, like, straight comedy.
Santa's real. Santa's real in Ted Lasso.
Yeah, he is. That's canon.
Oh, that is to me.
You honestly, your best move is to not play at this point, which is fucking
right.
Because you don't want to say Squid Game, or I think you should leave, or What We Do in the Shadows.
Because you want those higher.
So I think.
So unless you're just going to nominate one of my shows or one of Andrew's shows to just fuck everything.
Gonna put, like, Falcon and the Winter Soldier on there.
Oh, fuck it. Oh, the one where a character's moral dilemma is, do I let all these kids die to get my revenge, or do I be a good guy?
And I already told you. I already told you I'd kill myself if I put it on the list. So even though that would be very beneficial to me, I would not vote for it. Just putting that out there.
You came out good in the video game category.
Yeah.
You're doing all right.
Fucking man. I think my only move here is for our our fourth position 2021 shows, nominate Hacks.
Yes. I'm very happy it made the list, and I will take the sacrifice of it being number 4, and I hope that one day you guys watch it, because it's not much of a time commitment, and like, we're all shitty white men.
Yep.
And watching a show about a boomer woman, a millennial woman who's like a stand-in for us, and a gay black man is important. Like, it just is, man, and it's so fucking funny and so good. If you have 3.5 hours to burn, and have HBO Max, I suppose that's also a limiting factor. Fucking check it out. It's unbelievable. So yeah. What you got, Andrew? Number 3.
I think at number 3 I have to nominate What We Do in the Shadows.
I think that's
It's
fair,
a show that it wasn't for me. I really thought that I would like it. I mean, granted, I didn't get that far into the show. I watched like the first 4 or 5 episodes of season 1, and there were funny moments. I just couldn't really make myself want to go back and keep watching it. But you guys seem to love it.
Wait, I'm gonna wait for Lucas. Lucas, what are you gonna say? I'm seeing a dangerous pattern here. I want to see if Lucas says yes.
So
or no.
then, okay, if I say...
Are you gonna say yes or no?
If I say yes to What We Do in the Shadows here, then Ryan's move is going to be to nominate Squid Game, and then I have the opportunity to do something wacky and hope that Andrew respects me enough to follow through on it, or nominate Succession, a show which I have seen parts of, and
you saw it,
yeah,
and you enjoyed the ending, and you asked me questions about it and stuff.
I wish What We Do in the Shadows could have made number 2, I guess, but also, yeah, I'll say yes to What We Do in the Shadows here. Because, I'm sticking true to myself at this point, and you know what? What We Do in the Shadows is great. This season may be a step back from the previous one.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fair. They're getting to the point where they have to get away from the concept,
Right,
which is always the moment of truth for a series longevity. That isn't, like normie bullshit like the Goldbergs or just some sitcom. Kevin Can Wait. Like, that it's tough to do.
Oh, the Goldbergs.
No
they got some shit to deal with now.
Yeah, Jeff Garlin.
Oh,
boy. Curb almost made my list. Yeah, Curb. Ooh. It's tough watching Jeff Garlin, who plays a fictionalized version of himself, who's constantly like cheating on his wife with very young women. It's tough to watch that show a little bit now.
And it's like, man, I love Kristen Schaal. They didn't give her enough in this one. Yeah, man.
I couldn't understand what she was saying half the time.
But then they brought
when she was on screen, not so much.
But then they brought the Count back, and like the fucking primordial vampire is actually a delight, and that good golden retriever is actually a hellhound, and like
Donald Logue is like just he enjoyed the culture when he was studying for Blade.
Fuck. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm fine with What We Do in the Shadows being number 3.
I'm comfortable with it. All right. Speaking of normies, for number 2, I'm going to go with the most popular show of the year that we all, like, to varying degrees, had some level of issue with, and go with Squid Game, which is, it is fucking good, but I do think, it's, oh, man, I'm really, what if they pull it off? What if season 2 is unbeatable?
Yeah, that'd be
like, what if season
legendary.
2 is better? Yeah. I will be so happy, because I really loved the show. The creator seems like a really cool, down-to-earth guy who's just like, whoa, what the fuck? I accidentally made this giant international sensation. Like, yeah. I hope for nothing but the best. But apparently they're in talks for season 3.
Already.
Which could be either really bad or really good.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about Squid Game, and the only thing I have left to say is, Netflix, pay these people more. Come on.
Yeah, fucking get a scale, man. It's Dan Harmon's bit on Harmontown that he always talked about is like, well, if you go to Netflix, there's no back end. Like, any time he would have another prominent television personality on the show and they'd be talking about Netflix, he'd be like, oh, yeah, but there's no back end. Like, just like as his own inside joke just for himself. But it's fucking true because this is the exact scenario where just having a set amount of money being paid to the creators does them such a massive disservice. Squid Game is worth billions of dollars to Netflix, and the guy probably made $1 million.
Yeah, and that doubles, that triples maybe if he got $1 off of every officially licensed Squid Game tracksuit or like pawn costume that was sold around Halloween. Yeah. Like, fuck. Yeah.
And I mean it goes to every single position, with the production of that movie. I think I remember seeing something like the person that did the English subtitles that translated the movie so it could be watched by the English audience without those fucking awful dubs. Like they made like a couple $100 on that.
No, yeah.
That was it.
Netflix is notoriously bad for paying translators. It's fucked up. But, okay. Number 2, only move I have left is to, as the eldest son, nominate Succession for the number 1 show of 2021.
I was kind of hoping you were going to do some wacky shit. What were you referencing before when you said I could get some wacky shit and hope Andrew respects me enough to do it? It's moot now, but I do want to know what it was.
I'm not even sure what I was talking about, but I feel like if I was like number 1 show of 2021, most relevant show of 2021, Archer.
I would call in my favor. I would call in my favor that I curried with Andrew from Hell Let Loose. I would die. I would die. Succession, literally.
Oh.
If it was 5, it needed to be on there.
Like, as fucking God, as somebody who, like, I Twitter mutuals with too many people at this point, too many, like, actually respected people not to have Successions on my top 10 list anywhere.
And at this point, it is becoming a bit of a commitment.
Yep.
And that's the issue with me recommending it to y'all. In comparison with Hacks, where it's like, get on the ground floor, man. It's fucking season 1. You got 10 episodes, 25 minutes per episode. You're good to go. Now Succession, it's like 3 full seasons of not 45 minutes. We're talking full hours. Like, it's starting to get long, and it's almost like you might have missed the train if you're not hopping on board yet, unless you have a ton of time. So that's the difficulty with that.
Ryan, this is your baby. Do you want to take us 10-1 for Voluntary Viewing's top shows of 2021?
I'm happy. Number 1, Succession, the best show of the year. Number 2, Squid Game, the most popular show of the year. Number 3, What We Do in the Shadows, the best comedy of the year, except for maybe Hacks, which is number 4, Hacks. Number 5, Ted Lasso, the most feel-good show of the year. Number 6, Invincible, the best animated show of the year. Number 7, Only Murders in the Building, a good show.
The best mystery show of the year.
A good show.
The best podcast.
Number 8, I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. Probably like the most fun show of the year. Number 9, Rick and Morty, a fucking good show. And number 10, Evil, a fucking good show.
So
we did it.
Could have gotten Tim Robinson higher. If the rotation was different,
we could have gotten Tim Robinson higher. Evil, I would have been fine with Evil dropping off. Kevin Can Fuck Himself making it in like the 8 range, and I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson being bumped up. I would have lived with that. I feel bad that Evil ended where it did because Kevin Can Fuck Himself totally could have made its way on this list. But at the same time, only one of my shows missed it, which makes me happy because, like I said, my fucking top 10 it's fucking bulletproof, man. Y'all can watch 25 shows and get back to me. It's Lucas with gaming. I defer.
All right, with that, we have been recording for an hour and 48 minutes at this point. We're gonna take a quick break, keep the recording going, but I don't know about y'all. I have to pee and get more alcohol. So adjourned. Back in a minute.
I'll do the math.
Thank you. All right, then we are in the last third of this, going into Voluntary Viewing's top 10 movies of 2021. Shit, wait, dude. Oh, I go first on this one.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Wow, the power. These are the 10 new movies I watched this year, and I think that's going to be made evident in my list. Number 10, Red Notice. Garbage. How do How do Ryan Reynolds and The Rock individually have so much on-scene presence and just do nothing with it? The plot point in this movie, The Rock is actually a bad guy, and he has to earn Ryan Reynolds' trust so he and Gal Gadot can, like, get a secret treasure. They somehow decide that this convoluted series of events is more effective than just pulling a gun on Ryan Reynolds to make them tell them where the Cleopatra's fucking golden egg is. I don't know. Free Guy, number 9. Another Ryan Reynolds movie. Ryan Reynolds should only do Deadpool movies because this movie was also not great. Integrating the real-life Twitch streamers, relevant Twitch streamers, as of like 2 years ago into this was maybe the most cringe thing I have seen in a movie theater ever. They had Ninja pretend to be... Ninja, whose job it is to pretend to be excited about stuff in this, and he was bad. Space Jam.
Wow, Free Guy was worse than Space Jam? Damn.
Yeah. Space Jam was almost deep. Space Jam almost touched on the idea of LeBron James had to give up his childhood to become LeBron James and raise himself and his family out of poverty, and how maybe he regrets that on some level and maybe that's fucked up. But no, we had to get a couple of big Chungus references in there, so we can't focus on that part too much.
You're acting like that's a bad thing.
Number 7, Mortal Kombat. I saw this with Andrew and Jade at a drive-in movie theater, and that was a highlight of my year. That is the kindest thing I can say about this movie. Don't...
Your bottom 4. Really rough.
Don't Look Up is a movie that is compelling and subversive only to boring people. This is a movie... Oh my god. This is a movie that's entire hook is, guys, we gotta do something about insert one of the things that's going to kill the planet. Climate change, COVID, capitalism. I don't know what you should do, but like, we should do something about those things, because it's gonna kill us. And also is obsessed with how perpetuating the myth that Leonardo DiCaprio is still hot. Like, it's weird. It's weird and bad. Bad Trip. I genuinely liked this one. What if Eric Andre...
That's a hard cut.
Such a fucking Your bottom 5 are garbage, and your top 5 are... You'll defend them to the end of the year.
Your bottom 5 movies are... They should not have made the list, and I'll be sad if they do. Number 4... This one's actually really good.
Yeah, there's no in between.
Bad Trip is what if Eric Andre made Bad Grandpa, but was just playing himself. And, like, that can get a little tiring at points. That can be like, okay, it's a stoner comedy where he's fucking with real people and look at their reactions. Maybe it gets a little mean-spirited. But then Eric Andre and his friend get their penises trapped in a Chinese finger trap and have to ask real people to help them. And it's pretty great. Get Back. I know I ragged on Andrew a little bit for this one. I saw the first entry of Get Back, which was an hour and a half by itself, and it's the Beatles' creative process. Even if it's overhyped and you can say whatever you can about the Beatles, it's interesting. It's interesting to get this look into what it was like to be one of the Beatles when the Beatles were the Beatles. The Matrix Resurrections, number 3. There's so much going on here. It's ridiculous. It is a movie that could only be made by one of the Wachowskis, and in a lot of ways is about what it's like to be one of the women who made The Matrix. Fuck. I could talk for 20 minutes about this movie, but we don't have time for that, so yeah, it is my number 3 movie of the year. Number 2, Godzilla vs. Kong. This isn't the best Godzilla movie, in my opinion, but it's still a goddamn great movie. Like, especially in a year where I personally was hard up for movies. Like, this is fun. This is dumb. There's a line where somebody says verbatim, King Ghidorah hacked the mainframe. And like, I'm
No,
down.
they don't literally say it. You keep saying it. We say it because that's basically what happened. They don't say he hacked the mainframe. That's not in the movie. I've seen it twice.
And then my number one movie of the year, James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. This is the movie that I wish had been the first movie I see in theaters following COVID quarantine. This is my kind of superhero movie. There are some like suspensions of disbelief of why are characters here? Why are they doing this? But then that's also inherent to comics. And I think coming deep in the Marvel fatigue right now, I appreciate this approach to superhero movies compared to we are going to make these so interconnected that if you are not an admin on the MCU wiki, you're not going to know what the fuck's going on. And yeah, this is just a much more fun approach to me. Is that to Ryan then? I think so.
No, it's to me.
Andrew, okay.
Yeah. So, my number 10, Mortal Kombat, spelled with a K. Like Lucas said, I saw this in a drive-in movie theater with bad audio where the most interesting thing that happened was all the Starlink satellites went out in the sky while we were watching the movie and everyone thought we were being attacked by aliens. Yeah, not a good movie.
Time.
Not like an expressly awful movie. It's so meh, but with some like just really gory, fucked up executions. So that's fun. Number 9, Godzilla vs. Kong. This is not a Godzilla movie. It's a King Kong movie where Godzilla shows up like twice, and that's it. Not a good movie. I mean, like, still had fun moments, but like, Godzilla King of the Monsters was like, I think we all decided not a great movie, but was sick as fuck.
Oh my god.
This movie lacked a lot of the sick as fuck factor.
Yeah.
Number 8, The Harder They Fall. Really fun Western movie. I talked about it before. All black cast. Really just crazy star power in there. I like a good Western. Lots of shooting. A lot of the character motivations don't make sense. And there's so many characters played by so many good actors that none of them get really fleshed out at all. Number 7, House of Gucci. Kind of your classic dramatic biopic. Good performances, dramatic, interesting, and like most biopics, the moral of the story is money corrupts people and women do be crazy. So, gonna have to put it a little bit lower on the list for that. Number 6, In the Earth. In the Earth is a horror suspense movie put out by Neon with some really good performances, very small cast. The plot of the movie is that during the pandemic, they keep saying expressly that it's not COVID, but it is definitely COVID. There's a researcher that goes out into the woods in England to study how this network of fungus is communicating with the trees to see if they can use it to grow food faster. They don't hear from her for a while, so they send out this other scientist who knows her and a park ranger to find her. On the way there, they get kidnapped by like this crazy guy who lives in the woods, who keeps going back and forth between super rational and super crazy, who drugs them and it like is trying to speak with the spirit of the forest by offering tribute to them and like sacrificing people. They escape. They find the scientist lady and she's like, "Oh, you met the crazy guy in the woods. Yeah, he's nuts. He's trying to communicate with the spirit of the forest with sacrifice. I'm trying to communicate with the spirit of the forest through science." And they're like, "Oh." So the movie is very suspenseful. It really conveys anxiety super well. I liked it a lot. I don't want to get too deep into it because I know we got to go. There's one scene in the movie that made me just fucking love this shit so much. Later on in the movie, they realize the scientist lady is also like crazy and is going to sacrifice them. And the guy from the woods comes back and is kind of trying to kill them. And the park ranger lady who's the only like competent character in the movie, takes out like a tent spike that's holding down like one of the parts of their base camp and sticks it in the dude's eye. And he goes like, "Oh, fuck, there's a tent spike in my eye." He's freaking out. He's not dead. And he like goes and finds a mirror and he looks at her. He's like, "Yeah, oh God, that's really in there. Okay, fine. Now you gotta take me to a hospital." And she just punches him in the face, which drives the spike into his skull, kills him. Excellent movie. Then that would be 1, 2, 3. Number 4, Spider-Man No Way Home. I saw this a couple days ago. It is actually really good. I know I said earlier I don't want to really keep up with the MCU, but I do like Spider-Man a lot. This movie, one, super entertaining and brought in a lot of, characters from the other Spider-Man movies from the last 20 years, which is super cool. And I think it was actually really touching and was about like leaving your past behind and growing up and realizing you can't have it all and just trying to make the most out of what you're able to get. So it was a really good movie. Number 3, The Green Knight. Officially a Christmas movie. Yeah. My boy.
That is more Christmas than
Christmas?
fucking Die Hard, I tell you that much.
Beautifully shot. I was telling Ryan before the podcast, it's one of those movies where even though while I was watching it, I wasn't super into it, the more I thought about it, the more I really liked it. Excellent performances, shot really, really well. Lots of twists and turns, cool shit. Dev Patel gets a hand job.
Yeah, I was gonna say, your favorite part, the surprise, just fucking cum shot all over.
Good for Dev Patel.
Just in your face, like right on the camera. And I remember, I didn't remember that criticism of the movie, but I was watching it, and when I saw it, was like, oh, that's right, Andrew hated this. It's there, and it's on screen for a good few seconds. And it's being like shoved into the camera.
Yeah, it's all over his hands.
Whoa!
It's dripping. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was holding back for a while.
Anyway,
so gross.
Number 2, The Suicide Squad. This movie's so fucked up. This movie really just messed me up. The first half of this movie is so brutal, and the second half of the movie is, I think, the best part of it. But yeah, James Gunn, he did a good job. Really funny, really dark. A lot of cool characters that hadn't really been in anything before, so I enjoyed the hell out of it. And number 1, just a legitimately good movie. I don't think either of you guys have seen it. Come On. Joaquin Phoenix, great performance. It's in black and white for some reason. A24 for all the shit they get about now being kind of normcore. They just make good fucking movies. It's a movie about Joaquin Phoenix kind of reconnecting with his sister, who he hasn't talked to in a while, and her son, and then his sister has to go take care of her ex-husband who's having a mental breakdown. So Joaquin Phoenix is left watching his 7-year-old nephew and kind of figuring out how to like communicate with a kid, and he like gives him all this recording equipment because he's a reporter, and the kid loves it. And so he records everything, and the movie's about them going around just recording shit and learning how to like be friends with each other. Really, really touching movie. That would make me, honestly, I cried in the movie theater randomly.
Aww.
During points that were not like super sad or super uplifting, just regular shit going on, just fucking cried. It's really good. Not like a super exciting movie. It is kind of a slow burn. Maybe that's not the right phrase, because there isn't like this big build up towards the climax. It's just them being around. But yeah, it's good. It's good shit.
Very cool. Ryan, your top 10 movies of 2021.
Number 10, The Woman in the Window. Amy Adams is in it, and they remade Rear Window, but worse. It's competent. It's okay. I don't think it's bad, unlike Lucas's bottom 5 movies, but it's fine. Number 9, Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, based on SNL characters. It's an SNL movie, and it's, in the same vein. Like, it got some genuine laughs out of me. It's dragging on a concept for a long time, but it's an SNL movie. Like, it's kind of what you expect at this point. So, all good. Number 8, Free Guy. I think I'm a little higher on it than Lucas. I thought that there was genuinely, like, some decent stuff in there. And then, some mega cringe as well. Taika Waititi was just possibly the low point in the movie, which is insane. Yeah, I don't know how that even happens, but yeah, he was fucking real rough. In contrast with a future megalomaniac billionaire, who I'll be discussing. Number 7, 14 Peaks, Nothing is Impossible. So imagine there's this dude from Nepal. He joins the military, and then he joins the English Special Forces because the Nepal military is still like associated with the British military, and moves to the UK. And then he quits the military like a couple years before receiving his pension to just start climbing mountains because he's a god of climbing mountains. So he's just this ex-Special Forces God King Chad who's born in like higher altitudes and like so therefore has natural abilities to climb mountains, and just decides, you know what? There's not many people who have climbed the 14 8,000 meter peaks in the world, the 14 tallest mountains in the world at all. What if I just like did it in one climbing season? And like the first guy to do it is in the movie, and he's older now, but he's like this German or Swedish guy, he's some European guy. Yeah. He's just talking about how like, I did it over the course of 16 years, and like everyone thought I was the coolest person who's ever lived. This dude just fucking did it, and it's cool, and it's got some like interesting stuff and a lot of good art, and you learn a lot about the guy. I think the main reason I didn't like it is because I'm a bit of a climbing junkie. Like, I love that stuff about climbing mountains, and I think every single mountain could have been its own episode of a miniseries for me. I also think there was probably constraints with like filming because you're filming in the death zone.
Also, there's probably not that much footage because apparently it took them like 20 minutes to climb Mount Everest.
There was a lot of footage, but yeah, I'm sure a lot of it made the cutting room floor. And they had moments like that they talk about that they had to like animate because probably no one was filming because they're like, this guy was dying. We stumbled upon this guy and he was dying and there was no way we could get him down the mountain. So we radioed for help. No one came. So we just sat with him for hours hoping someone would come with extra oxygen. Then he died. Then we had to like make our way down the mountain with no oxygen ourselves because we waited for people to come up and bring us extra oxygen, and no one ever did. And then I got HAPE, which is like basically you're tripping because your brain isn't getting enough oxygen. And I saw a Yeti, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And then it turned out the Yeti wasn't a Yeti; he was another climber who had HAPE, and we both somehow made it down to Camp 4 and fucking lived, but should have died there. Like crazy shit like that. They had to animate because, they almost died. So, a really interesting movie, worth watching, fucking unbelievably inspiring. And at the end of the movie, he hits the line that I was hoping he would fucking touch on, and not of course he did, but thank God he did, where he was like, let's be honest, if I was a Western climber, I would be 4 times more popular than I am right now. And I was like, you fucking nailed it, dude. Like, all the way back to fucking Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, who summited Mount Everest for the first time together. Decent chance you've heard of Edmund Hillary. Tenzing Norgay? Not so much. And it sounds like, if you listen to Edmund Hillary, if you read between the lines, they both have never said who did it first, but read between the lines, it seems like Tenzing Norgay was the actual first person to be on the top, and Edmund Hillary was the Buzz Aldrin of Everest. But anyway, good movie. Number 6, Dune. Yeah, I've talked about it before on the podcast. It belongs on the list. It's good. It's not a full movie. Like, it's not a full story. It's got a lot of issues. But good movie, belongs on the list. Number 5. But even though I have it at 5 and Lucas has it at 6, I feel like I gave it a 7 out of 10 and Lucas gave it like a 2 out of 10. Like, Don't Look Up. This movie was fucking good, man. I liked Don't Look Up. Like, I will defend this fucking movie. It genuinely was enjoyable for me throughout. It was fucking really funny. It was Idiocracy, but for like a modern understanding of what Idiocracy means. Like, that whole concept of what our culture is. It's cultural devolution versus literal devolution. Like, it's literally like, no. And I feel like a lot of people's problems with like how it's hitting you over the head have to be at least examined through the lens of this movie was written pre-COVID.
Okay.
And just the fact that it's so like, wow, they're just really going at it, aren't they? I do feel like you have to be like, but they kind of predicted it. Like, they're not just like parroting the stuff that has happened with COVID. They kind of just predicted it. And I think it's clearly about climate change and not something like COVID. Like, this is 100% like an analogy for climate change. And I'm going to be like, well, our government leaders wouldn't be that stupid. But they are. It's just on a slightly longer time scale. Like, instead of it being 6 months, they have 50 years. And they are literally doing exactly what we're talking about. Fucking Mark Rylance as the tech billionaire. The tech billionaire Elon Musk. Mwah, like chef's kiss, dude. He steals every scene he's in when he's just everything is going according to plan. Like the weird, and it's problematic to say this, but like that weird, like quasi, they're getting into like, I have Asperger's, so I can do this type of shit because I don't understand social norms. Like, that Elon Musk does, that Mark Zuckerberg does, like, he fucking nails that to the wall, and I love that shit. And like, this his whole character arc is unbelievable. Him getting into the Situation Room because he has Platinum Eagle donor status, which literally happened on Trump's fucking campaign. One of the co-writers was on Bernie's team, which, fucking, yep, exactly. I don't know, I really enjoyed it. Highlight of the movie, like running gag for me, was every time. Yeah. What is it? Every time Jennifer Lawrence brings up the fact that the general charged them for free snacks.
And then I've been talking with Ian about like, Ian's of the mindset that like, why is Timothée Chalamet even in this movie? And like he's
so good.
Yes, he is, like, that is
so good.
Fucking, that is rural Midwest. They have a great depiction of the rural Midwest in this movie. I will give it that. But then Timothée Chalamet's response to Jennifer Lawrence just like going off about this, just being like, yeah, guys are weird. Like, fucking been there, man. I know what that's like.
Is this the movie where I keep seeing the scene of like, he's got your picture on a fucking skateboard? Like that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Timothée Chalamet. He plays a burnout stoner loser in every Midwestern hometown that you go home to.
No, like,
and yeah, like, because Jennifer Lawrence, even though she's like an accomplished PhD student who like discovered a comet that was going to kill the whole world, is at such a place because of the state of our culture that she, like, he's just like, fuck it, who cares? I'm gonna marry this dude, like, which is pretty gold. He doesn't add anything other than being fucking hilarious. Like, other than Timothée Chalamet showing off his fucking chops. And I believe the exact line is, it starts with, or maybe he's just getting off on the power. And you think, like, it's coming off of a scene where Leonardo DiCaprio's character is, like, playing ball. So you're like, oh, she's talking about Leonardo DiCaprio's character. And then he's just like, and he comes back to, like, fucking, I mean, it's like, eventually I was going to find out that the snacks were free. Like, is he getting off on that? Like, just subverting her expectations perfectly into the fact that, no, she's still obsessed with the fact that this 4-star general from the Pentagon charged everyone $10 for free snacks. and took a 20 from the NASA representative because he was like, you got change? He was like, no, I don't got change. Like, just it's fucking gold. I really like the movie. I really do. for me, that's the cutoff between movies that I thought were okay and movies that I genuinely enjoy and would recommend. And I want Andrew to watch it so that we have a time.
And that's the thing is, I really wanted to see this movie, and the only time I would have been able to see it was today, like 3 hours ago, and I just wasn't going to be able to finish it in time.
We can talk about it on the general pod, like, yeah.
We will. Yeah. If you do watch it, we will.
Yeah. And
but anyway, yeah, that was 5. 4, The Green Knight. I fucking love The Green Knight. That's an 8 out of 10 movie for me. From here on out, I'm like, these are movies I genuinely enjoy and would be on my list pretty much any year. I really liked The Green Knight. I came into it. I've read the book. I've discussed it in like an academic setting, and I do feel like there's a lot to gain from that. They briefly touch on like the 5 points of chivalry in like the very beginning of the movie, but they could definitely spell those out. I feel like they have chapter headings in the movie that could have easily been just, here's the 5 points of chivalry, basically. And because that a lot of the tests, he goes through various trials, which by the way aren't in the book, but really fit in with the theme. I was really impressed with how they did that. In the book, it's literally like he goes on a long and perilous journey. That's it. They don't describe any bits of the long and perilous journey. So but I felt like some of those were like the strongest points in the movie. And like him failing various tests. I like the change was in the original story. There's no flashbacks. There's no like him becoming king. Which by the way, Dev Patel is like a 10th century English like royalty. Interesting. That dude's a fucking king. Like when he imagines himself as a king, you're like,
that is a king.
That dude's a king.
No, Dev Patel is a
king.
fantastic performer.
That dude's a king. Like no doubt about it. But instead of that whole aspect of it, it's just he reveals it, and it becomes a story more about like nobody's perfect, and like but that doesn't mean that you get to use that as an excuse for like being a bad person. Like you don't get to just be like, I suck anyway, so I'll just keep doing bad shit. You have to constantly be making the right decision. But I feel like they still got that message across, and I really enjoyed the ending. And the Green Knight like was fucking a really powerful when he spoke through his aunt. Holy shit, that was haunting. Like, and that wasn't in the book either, and they fucking nailed that. Like, just the theatrical adaptation, I was like, how do you do this? And I agreed with you when you were like, it's not really fit for that when you first brought it up. But no, I thought they nailed it, man. I really, really like that movie. Anyway, 3, The Suicide Squad. We've talked about it a lot. It's fucking good, man. Like, genuinely really good. Number 2, Minari. I know you wanted to watch this, Andrew, and I really recommend it, even though it didn't make it. It won't make it on your list. Fucking wow, like powerful stuff.
What is it on?
In the same vein of like how it's on.
Okay, I don't have HBO.
Wait, no, it's on Showtime. It's on Showtime. It's on Showtime, and we can talk about that after the podcast. But Minari, so fucking good, man. In the same way as like Hacks, like we're 3 straight white dudes at the end of the day. We just gotta watch movies like this, man, if we want to even be like able to like proclaim that we're doing our best. Like this movie is fucking powerful, tells a very important story. The semi-autobiographical stuff is just fucking super important and just told really well. And you'll fucking cry. It's real good. And then number 1, I really thought that at least one of you guys would watch this. By the time of this recording, you've both seen extended parts of the stuff, whether it be every song on TikTok or just full-blown clips on YouTube. But Bo Burnham Inside, movie of the year. I mean, it's a special. I don't know how it defines, but I think it definitely belongs on the list, and it's definitely easily like most applicable to movie. I mean, if you don't like Sako, the Marxist sock puppet, then I don't know how to speak.
The thing is I have seen this, not in its entirety though, so I didn't feel comfortable putting it on my list.
No, it doesn't. You need to watch it in its full to get the full effect. The interludes are important, like Bo Burnham laying on his floor and just waxing rhapsodic about like, maybe having a few bug-eyed salamanders in Silicon Valley control just everything about our experience in the world. Maybe that was a bad call. Like, just like in such an unscripted format. Like, that's important to like getting the full impact of the movie. And the songs are unbelievable and really good, but like the interludes are equally important. And some of the stuff that you won't find is like the songs, like his reaction video to the what was it, the fucking Unpaid Intern song. Fucking good. So yeah, that's my list.
All right. I think, I went first, so that it was to me to nominate the number 10 voluntary viewing movie of 2021. It's weird that I have to like cut out the bottom half of my list, but
especially when one of them I hope is going to make
I
I
hope somebody nominates Don't Look Up, because I really want to get into it with you on Don't
points.
Look Up. Yeah, and I will get points at the end of the day, so that's fine. But I think I can sneak this one in. Number 10, Bad Trip.
Yeah, I love Eric Andre.
Oh my!
Yeah, I might watch it based on your spiel there.
Is one of your favorite segments of the Eric Andre show Bird Up?
Yes.
You'll like this show, man. It is.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna check it out. Eric Andre is cool.
And like, sometimes they're interacting with people who are like getting involved, and it's like this one really well-meaning dude coming in after a car crash. Eric Andre and his buddy are arguing, and it's just like him just interjecting, like trying to help him out, but not really wanting to get involved. One of them saying something to the effect of, "And now the cops are going to show up and find out that the car is stolen, Eric." And this person is like, "Yo, I'm stepping in real quick. You don't have to bring that up, okay? Like, you guys do you work it out, but that doesn't have to be a thing. All right, you do you." Like, "Oh, you're a fucking idiot, Eric Andre. Like, how can you say this shit to me?" And then him stepping back in to say, so like, he definitely has a concussion. Like, you shouldn't take what he's saying right now seriously. No, yeah, but he's like fucking it. Okay, yeah, he seems like he'd be an idiot in real life, but like, he has a concussion right now. That's more important than, and like, oh, it's so good. All right.
Yeah.
To you, Andrew, for number 9.
I guess I could nominate Don't Look Up, a movie that I haven't seen and want to, but like isn't on my list.
I have to say no on principle. The question is whether or not Ryan is comfortable it being this low.
Okay.
I'm not comfortable with it being low. That makes me sad. It's good, man.
I believe you. I just haven't seen it. Like, I can't vie one way or another.
It has good parts.
No, I think it's
Okay.
good throughout. Okay. I'll go with Dune. I mean, you guys have seen the stuff about Dune. I'm very comfortable with
Dune
it.
Your
Dune,
Mom, yeah.
Dune Your Mom. The famous Ray William Johnson song. Dune at 9 makes sense to me if you guys are good with that. Flawed movie, but like, goddamn, a spectacle. Not as much of a spectacle as I was hoping for is my biggest complaint, honestly. I expected it to be flawed. I thought that they'd have a lot more crazy shit happening than just fucking walking around being Timothée Chalamet. Why would imagine Timothée Chalamet's character in Don't Look Up as the main character of Dune?
Wait, hold on. I mean, I'm realizing I never said my number 1, 2, 3, 4. I never said my number 5 movie.
Yeah, I don't think
Power
you
of the
did.
Dog.
I wasn't sure.
I accidentally skipped that one. Yeah, good movie. A lot of nominations. The first half of this movie is so unbelievably boring that I almost didn't watch the second half, but then you realize it was all set up. And I think it's the perfect movie of show don't tell. They don't fucking say anything about what is going on. You have to put that together based on what is on screen. And then the second half of the movie is just fucking nuts. And basically Benedict Cumberbatch is a rancher who his brother marries a woman and Benedict Cumberbatch hates women, and you find out it's because he was gay, and when he was a teenager, Bronco Henry, who was the former rancher, basically Brokeback Mountained him and taught him that he was gay, and then the woman that his brother married has a son who's a teenager who's also gay, but like a total fucking wuss. So Benedict Cumberbatch is trying to teach him how to be like a real, like, Western man and make him realize that he's gay at the same time. But this teenager who's studying to be a doctor fucking hates him because he drove his mom to be an alcoholic. So he accidentally cuts his hand, and then he's like, oh, hey, you said you were making me a rope. Could you make me a rope with this cowhide that I got? But it's infected with anthrax. And it fucking kills him. He assassinates Benedict Cumberbatch because he made his mom sad. Anyway, yeah, that's Power of the Dog.
A glowing review.
At number 8, I'd like to nominate Godzilla vs. Kong.
Sure.
Big Monk.
Monk.
Power of Monk.
You saved me. Why? Monkey.
I wish I had saw this. I wish I had seen this in the theater, and I did get to see it at a drive-through. But it's a kaiju movie. It's a spectacle, and at the end of the day, I really dig that. No. To Ryan then, I think. To Andrew. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm gonna say In the Earth, because I do want this movie on the list at least somewhere. Like this movie, one, you should not watch it if you have any sort of like epilepsy or triggered by flashing lights. There is a like a flashing white light warning at the beginning of the movie, and it's fucking nuts. It kind of makes you forget where you are at certain points. It's really scary and good movie.
I haven't heard of the movie In the Earth, and like this is the first time I've heard you, Andrew, talk about it the entire year. So
I just saw it like a week ago.
I want to be a friend and say yes, but also I have nothing to gain by saying yes at this point.
You do owe me a favor.
What do I owe you a favor from?
Remember when we were doing video games, I said I was going to nominate Deathloop at 3 so that No More Heroes could be at 2? And I said you owe me, and you said I understand.
Andrew, that's presuming you could have gotten Deathloop any higher than 3.
We made a deal.
The betrayal.
We made a deal. You did this last year too, where you say, yeah, I owe you a favor, and then I tried to cash it in, and you just said, no.
Oh God, I'm choking. Last year, I was in a position where I could have everything I wanted, and I did get everything I wanted, and I regret nothing. But because we need to keep this going, this relationship, I'll say yes, and In the Earth can be number 10, 9, 8, 7.
All right.
Is that okay, Ryan?
Damn.
Sure. All right.
Fuck it.
And then to you, Ryan.
Hey. Number 6. I'm gonna go weird with it, even though I know it's gonna make movies that are below it go higher than it, and I'm gonna go with Minari at number 6.
Ooh.
I think Minari is a fucking gorgeous masterpiece, and I worry about it being excluded if I don't put it, or if I don't at least try at 6. It's fucking good. You guys like?
It's the movie that I'm most disappointed about not being able to see, because it wasn't available in any theaters around me, and I don't have Showtime. So yeah.
I'm gonna say yes. Honestly, I think you could have gotten this one higher, but yeah, sure.
Fair. I'm just glad it made it.
Fair.
I'm making sure this shit's on here.
Now we are in the top 5.
No, it's
number
6, isn't it? No, it is top 5. You're right.
I'd like to nominate The Matrix Resurrections for our number 5 spot.
Wasn't it ass? Isn't like the big take on it is the movie fucking sucks big old dick?
No, where are you guys seeing that?
Like the rest of the Matrix movies except for the first one. Like the first Matrix movie is good, and the other ones are really fucking bad.
Dude, I know you haven't been on film Twitter since sophomore year of college, but you got to get on there. Those movies have been redeemed.
Film Twitter. Film Twitter nowadays is mostly the same shitpost Twitter that I was talking about earlier.
Oh, Andrew, no. I don't know. I think it's good. I think it's a really interesting way to address, hey, I made the most popular franchise, the most popular IP I will ever touch early on in my career, and it was immediately claimed by just the worst people online, to the point where the metaphor for taking estrogen has been co-opted into becoming a weird alt-right conservative. This movie is all about that, and I think it's interesting and frankly brave on some level.
And here's the thing. I get that it has a message to say, and I want to like these movies because alt-righters hate it so much. But I've seen the Matrix sequels, and they fucking suck, man. And I haven't seen this movie, but I have a really hard time believing that it's good. And every single person that's seen it has said that it's really bad.
I'm saying that it's pretty good. I think it could be better, definitely. I have some issues with it. They set some stuff up that doesn't really pay off, but I enjoyed it. Man, at the end of the day, it's a Keanu Reeves action movie. You're really gonna say no to Keanu Reeves just living his best life? You saying no right now?
Is this his best life? Still revisiting the same IP decades later?
He's having a good time.
That's kind of fucking.
He's having a good time in this movie.
I feel like for me, this is The Witcher, but movies, where I'm I did not. I thought the first one was fucking. It was really special. They had something. They had a cultural moment, and then the second, the sequels almost made you question whether the first one was even good. Because you're just they really shat the bed. They didn't even just overpromise and underdeliver. They just straight up started going nonsensical with it for the sake of being nonsense. And I don't know, just the way that the Wachowskis' career has gone, I understand the shit that they've had to put up with. It's kind of unbelievable. But yeah, I don't have much faith in them to somehow recover with a remake made decades later and make it good. And yeah, I've not heard a single person who liked it yet, other than you.
I mean, I'm running out of pitches to make for this. The costuming on the new Morpheus is just fantastic, and he is the most vibrant, colorful, scene-stealing character in the entire movie, and that's awesome. Neil Patrick Harris as a douchebag psychologist that is the main villain is terrific.
Isn't there only a new Morpheus, though, because Lawrence Fishburne refused to be in it, and then he went and did fucking MacGruber?
No, there's, I think this is genuinely cool, actually. There's a new Morpheus in this because in the failed MMO Matrix game, Morpheus fucking dies.
Yeah, no,
I don't think that's
actually
to the
why
plot
he's not in
No,
it.
it's canon. It's legit. That game nobody played is relevant to this movie. This is the Wachowskis just executing their vision uncompromisingly, and I respect it. I respect this movie at the end of the day, and I think that's worth a number 5 spot.
I'd need to watch it. That's what I'm going to say.
No.
Having put Minari in at number 6,
Oh,
I just struggle to have it that high.
that's fair.
Is that a no from you too, Andrew? Is that an entering no?
That's fair, and that's as much as I can go to bat for it, because they set up a fucking... Okay, so they set this up. This is a really, like, anime moment in the movie where, like, Neo's main power slowing down time. Like, Neil Patrick Harris in this movie can do that, but better. And, like, they never have a moment of, like, Neo catching up to him or, like, having the follow-up beat to that. It's never addressed that Neil Patrick Harris can do that again in the movie, and it's just left to hang. And, yeah.
Also, that's another, like, big alarm bells for me, because, in the OG, he couldn't, like, control time. It was more just displaying
the movie slowed down. It wasn't canonically moving slower.
The movie was slowing down to show you how cool he was. He wasn't slowing everything around him down, which, I know in the sequels they kind of started going in that direction, and it sucked. So,
300, Leonidas' superpower isn't slowing down time.
I'll go to bat for some stuff in the Matrix sequels. I'm not going to defend all of them, but the reveal that's...
The Mr. Smith fight scene on the highway is legitimately, like, a potential peak of the entire... like franchise, I will say, in the second one. But
or that the reveal that Zion is a thing the machines planned for, that they're like, this is like a part of it. This is we're letting you do this. Like 1% of humanity doesn't gel with the Matrix. This is like controlled losses to us right now. You're still in the system, man. Like that's good shit. But all right, fine.
Isn't that what they're making fun of in Rick and Morty with you're in a simulation? Inside of a simulation, inside of a Taco Bell, like just like a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, what you got, Andrew? Blow us away.
What?
Blow us away with number 5.
I'm gonna say this one because I think it is really good, and I'm sure you guys won't like it. But Spider-Man: No Way Home was really good. It was really good. It's probably going to be the last Marvel movie I see for a long time. And it ended like kind of in a beautiful way of like Spider-Man doesn't have to be part of the MCU anymore. He can kind of do his own thing. Kind of set it up of like there is not going to be any more movies. There might be, who fucking knows. It was a good way to end it of just like, he's going to go do his own thing. Like a surprisingly touching message from like these super actiony movies. Willem Dafoe, fucking awesome in this movie. I mean, like Willem Dafoe is like one of the greatest actors of recent memory, and he fucking put that shit on blast. And to sweeten the pot, he said that I'm something of a scientist myself line.
You're selling me.
But like, I may have seen like somebody who snuck a camera into a theater and like just uploaded the Willem Dafoe clips to online, and like he is having the time of his life in this movie. And like my begrudging thing of this movie is that people don't like it because it's a good movie. People like it because it reminds them of the good stuff from the other Spider-Man movies. But also, Willem Dafoe is seemingly having the time of his life here. So I'll give this a tentative yes at number 5, unless Ryan can talk me out of it.
I think I can say yes too, in the same way that like I'm done with Marvel. I've hung strong this long. I hear that like they're bringing back the old Spider-Man. I didn't have the same connection to the Tobey Maguire movies that everyone else did. I thought The Amazing Spider-Man was genuinely pretty good, and then the second one was absolute trash. And I saw Homecoming and thought that was pretty good, and Civil War, and thought that Tom Holland was and all the Avengers thought Tom Holland was a solid Spider-Man, but it's definitely not enough to make me come back at this point. But I think that's fair. It's enough to warrant being there. So
thanks, guys.
We did it.
That is to you, Ryan, for number 4.
Yeah, number 4. I'm gonna see what happens here. I'm gonna say Don't Look Up at number 4.
I really
Is Lucas gonna say yes?
I really wish you had said this one for number 6.
I like flip them like Minari at 4 and don't look up at 6?
Kinda. Like, I'd be fine with that.
That would benefit me more. That would hurt you.
But, like,
That would give me 2 more points than you.
I don't even care about that right now because it's like, I'm about to vote on whether or not Don't Look Up is one of the 5 best movies of the year. Granted, this was a down year for movies. I think we can... Well, I think that says a lot about...
Yeah, none of us have even seen Licorice Pizza, the masterpiece that everyone's talking about.
There's definitely some Oscar buzz movies that we are not having.
The only Oscar buzz movies that I've seen are The Power of the Dog and Come On, Come On. So,
There you go.
All right, let's talk it out a little bit, at least. You can at least agree that having Meryl Streep be the Donald Trump stand-in is fundamentally flawed because a big part of Donald Trump conservatism is the misogyny, right?
Isn't he I feel like she's more of a stand-in for populists. Like, they're trying to explain the slow slide from populism to fascism. And if, they had a chauvinistic man, everyone would just be like, oh, and now here's the Trump figure. But instead, they're just, like, explaining, no, here's the decline from, like, a populist who's willing to compromise on everything just to, increase their own standing, and how that just is a direct path to fascism. Like, there is just... It's difficult to avoid that, which is ironic because people like Bernie are populist candidates at the end of the day, and how sometimes it is something that they're going to have to compromise on in order to maintain their standing, even if they're quote unquote benevolent in our eyes as fucking libtard cuckboys.
I think you're giving Adam McKay too much credit there. I think Meryl's. I think
I can never give Adam McKay enough credit. That dude makes things that I love. Like, that's just...
He made things
fact.
that you
After Succession.
Oh, okay.
He fucking makes Succession, man. He's on top of the world. And fucking, like, semi-recently, at least, fucking The Big Short. So, yeah.
I think Meryl Streep was just a Donald Trump stand-in, and I feel validated by that because Jonah Hill's entire character was... Well, we can't do Meryl Streep wanting to fuck her son. That'd be weird. That wouldn't be weird enough, or that'd be weird in a different way. Having Jonah Hill obsessed with his hot mom, though, like, that's the same level of Donald Trump wanting to fuck his daughter creepy.
Is it, though?
It's up there, man.
I don't think it is.
It's up there.
No, a dad thinking his daughter is super hot and wanting to fuck her if he wasn't her dad, and a son having a weird Oedipus complex, like... Nah, one of those is definitely a little worse for me, personally. Maybe that's just me. But, anyway. Y'all can say no, I guess. I don't know. I like it. I think it belongs on the list, and...
I have no dog in this fight, so I'm going to go with whatever Lucas goes with at this point.
Wow.
I mean, on this movie, so...
The most frustrating thing is that it benefits me to say yes right now. It benefits me within the game we've created.
You have to decide between the game and your own personal things that you hold dear.
So, like, it's not going to be in the top 3 movies. No. Like, and you know what? In a down year for movies, the top 3 is... We're lucky to have 3 great movies this year with COVID and all the complications to come from that, production issues. And, like, you know what? Yeah. Maybe there were only 3 great movies this year, and everything outside of that was middling, divisive at best. I'm going to say yes to Don't Look Up at number 4.
Go.
God, Leo DiCaprio's fucking speech on that talk show was just obnoxious.
I don't know, man. I fucking liked it. I like Leonardo DiCaprio starting as a bumbling, like, completely hapless professor and turning into Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, but still super hot. Like, super hot from the get-go, to be clear.
That's the meme, right? Like, that's... It's the joke. I don't know. And not super hot, just like don't pretend like this doesn't happen, that anyone who's not like a celebrity or a person whose like occupation is like stereotypically attractive, being even above average looking, they're automatically declared like one of the sexiest people alive. Like when it's just like fucking, oh, this person who's a roofer is hot. Oh wow, they're so fucking hot. And it's just like, they're not. They're like, because they look like you think they're hot. But yeah,
That ending of that movie is still frustrating. That it's like,
oh, I love the ending.
They all die, right?
And I'm not going to say what it was because spoilers.
shit.
But
hey,
yeah,
this
I
upper
love it.
middle class academia lifestyle is what you should
spoilers.
what you should strive to. That's actually the good. Let's ignore like all of the problems and how they play into the processes that led to Donald Trump being elected. No, that's what you should actually want. Actually, a white upper middle class. That's where it's at. Actually, according to this movie, according to Adam K. But number 4 movie, according to us. Fine. I'm not going to copy paste it in there, but whatever.
Just compromise on his ideals for points. Let it be known.
I'm going to go the Brendan Lee Mulligan route. I will do anything to win anything. Here we go.
There is no corner of my soul I will not bear for 15 points.
Is that from something or is that you?
Wait,
yeah.
are you asking me?
Like, I don't.
No, that's the Brendan. That's the original.
Oh, okay.
Where because he's there. It's the game show where they have to reveal something, and it's the lie detector with his significant other in the other room, and they ask him to reveal an embarrassing story about himself, and he says, "The bed that I lost my virginity in is the same bed that girlfriend later cuckolded me in." 5 years later, and yeah, and then he dings, says it's true, and then he looks right at the camera and says, "There is no corner of my soul I will not bear for 15 points."
That was like the first episode of Game Changer. Damn, deep cut. I've watched every one of those. Shit.
Yeah.
So that's to me for number 3, and I'm a little tricky right now.
I think there's a good strategy for you, but I'm curious if you discover it.
So, I think. Ooh, okay. So I think it hinges on whether or not Andrew's gonna play ball. But I would like to recommend Get Back for number 3.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Why would it hinge on me playing ball? What?
Well, because of
That's not good for me. And also, I don't like the Beatles.
I think you also shit on The Witcher for Andrew not having finished it, and it sounds like you've watched an hour and a half out of like 9 hours.
Are you serious?
Which, once again, I'm not
Lucas,
saying
have you not
that's
finished
not
it? Have you not
okay.
finished it?
I've watched an hour and a half of
we said he
6
watched the
hours.
first hour and a
Go
half.
fuck yourself. Honestly, truly, as one friend to another, go fuck yourself.
Oh. It's kind of meandering.
I think it's legit. I think in a movie like that, it's fair. Like, you get the vibe and everything. But once again, we can take it into account. And yeah, I don't know if that's fair.
No, okay. That's fine. Fucking getting cutthroat up in here. Andrew, what are you recommending for number 3?
I think I know what I want to be number 1 and 2. The order doesn't really matter to me. But I really want Come On to be in the top 3 of this list somewhere. Come On. It is a really good, touching movie, and it really hit me emotionally. And also, I don't know, I think I mentioned this in the regular podcast, I don't know if the actor that played the 9-year-old nephew was given a script and is just a very good child actor, one that has a huge career in front of them because that's a fucking hell of a performance, or if the director just said, go be a 9-year-old and recorded what happened and Joaquin Phoenix just masterfully played along with it. One way or another, it's impressive as hell. And also, it's just a really, really nice movie that made me feel good.
But is it the third best movie of 2021?
I think so. One, it is getting. I think it is getting Oscar buzz. Like, it is being recognized as at least one of the better movies of the year. I think it deserves to be on anyone's top 10 list.
For me, I think it should have been at 5. I did the sacrifice with Minari being way down there because I wanted it on the list, and I respect.
You do owe me a favor.
No,
are you kidding me?
What do I owe you a favor for?
I forget now, but I do. I do remember you saying
you owe me a favor.
You said, Andrew, I owe you a favor. Like,
no, it was the opposite.
I don't owe you a favor
because I put on Hell Let Loose, and then I literally said, Andrew, this is your favor.
Oh yeah, that is true.
And you owe me in the future. It's the opposite. Right. I definitely don't.
I didn't get Joe.
And I sacrificed putting Minari because once again, in the same thing that you're saying, they belong on the list. But those types of movies where no one else has them, and no one else has even like interacted with them at all, I feel like you got to put them a little lower.
I'm not saying that it is better than Minari because I haven't seen Minari, and I'd be totally fine if Minari was ahead of Come On, Come On. But it's one of those movies where I think it needs to be on the list, just like you were saying with Minari.
I agree. At 5, instead of Spider-Man No Way Home. That's what I thought you were gonna do, and because
this is my number one movie of the year. It is.
Minari's basically my number one movie of the year in terms of like in the same like equal 1-to-1 ratio. You guys have both interacted with Bo Burnham a lot. Like you both are very familiar and enjoy that content. Yeah, neither of you experienced Minari. And, like, Bo Burnham is not a narrative in the same way. I feel like it's pretty apples to apples, me personally.
Say the words, Andrew. Do you nominate it for number 3 or not?
Yeah, I do. I said I did.
He did, yeah. He did. Yeah.
I'm fine with Come On being number 3.
All right.
There you go. Fuck it. Well, that leaves some movies that are going to get left out.
I feel like... Okay. So is it to Ryan now or to me?
It's to Ryan.
It is.
So there is a route of least resistance here from my reading of your situation. It depends on how much you want to fight for it and whether or not you think you can get Andrew on your side after that exchange.
I think there's 2 that, regardless of which one you put in each position, like, we could get...
How much metagaming is allowed? This has never been discussed. How much metagaming and
I think there's 2 movies that could go in the top 2 that none of us would be like, no, that movie doesn't deserve to be in the top 2. And they both happen to benefit you and I, Ryan.
And once again, we're getting into the metagaming, aren't we? Lucas is in the lead.
I know that.
There is another route we could go, in which Lucas doesn't get 19 points. And
I know that.
Only gets 9.
I know that, and I don't. Yeah, metagaming. I don't know if I can say it out loud. There is a movie that all of us have ranked fairly high that we could unfortunately leave out of the list in order to deprive Lucas of the points.
It should be number 1.
But
here's the thing, Lucas. You fucked me real hard with this come on thing.
Brian.
And it sucks, man.
Because there's a play.
You've done nothing for me this whole game. And you've said you're going to go scorched earth and just fucking salt all my crops and burn down my fields next year.
I nominated Succession to be number 1, okay?
Yeah,
It
no,
was
I would have
inevitable.
voted
It
for it
belonged at
too.
number one.
Like it was.
Andrew,
It's the
you
only
coward.
You would have went like Archer, and Andrew would have been
Yeah,
like,
no.
okay,
If you would have
come
put
on.
Archer on there,
That's
I would have
fucking
said
bad.
no because it doesn't deserve it.
Wow. And wow. I thought I was talking to people with scruples. I guess the only thing I'll say.
You are talking to people with scruples. Andrew's like, for the good of the list, Succession
I
belongs at
mean,
number one.
speaking
and not
of for the
some
good
random
of the
shit.
list, Ryan, will you ever be able to look Bo Burnham in the eye if you don't do what?
No, Bo. In my play, it.
Yeah.
It,
Oh, yeah, no,
I don't think you're on the same page.
we're
as
talking
us,
about that.
Lucas.
Lucas, we're talking about
Oh.
that. I think you've been missing out
Because
on
there's
Oh,
a play here
okay.
where for the top two, you, Lucas, do not get any points. There's one in which Ryan and I get points, and the other one where just Ryan gets points, but you get nothing. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. I'm gonna do it. You're right. Bo Burnham Inside as the number 2. It's fucking unbelievable. It's transcendental. It's multicultural. It's all over the place. Bo Burnham Inside, baby.
I like
That's
I
number
like
2.
that my main socks are Sacco.
Yeah, that's true. Your yellow tipped
Yeah.
socks are that same.
That
Communist
sock was
gold
dirty.
sock.
That was a dirty sock puppet.
For the culture.
I feel like I know how this is gonna go, unless yeah. I'd like to nominate a movie we all have ranked highly. All of us personally believe that it is at least the top 3 movie of the year. That is what all of us said 20 minutes ago or whatever. That we all think it is one of the 3 best movies of the year that I personally think is the best movie of 2021. I'd like to nominate The Suicide Squad for number 1. And now, if you two want to do this prancing metagame thing, you have to you have to speak directly to our audience and look me in the eyes and tell me that you don't think The Suicide Squad is worthy of not just the number 1 spot, but any spot in our voluntary viewing top 10 list. Can you do that now?
It belongs on the
Yeah.
top 10 list. 100%. The game we've created
Prohibits it.
creates an imperfect list. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm a little on the fence. I first brought it up and I was kind of like, there's a world here where this works out. I don't know Andrew's shit. Here's my main qualm right now. I have them. They're pretty close. They're damn close. I am fine with Green Knight and Suicide Squad. One way or the other, they're getting left off, and they're so different.
Right.
The Green Knight is a fucking like masterpiece, but really fucking weird. Like it's not mainstream at all. The Suicide Squad is like fucking Tarantino, $1 billion DC movie. Like, are you really okay, Lucas, with the edgelord James Gunn movie being number 1? How are we not just every fucking white boy mid-20 something podcast by putting James Gunn's The Suicide Squad? as
We
the
would be
number 1 movie of
rejecting
the year?
art house cinema for comic book movie.
For some heads
Yeah.
exploding and John Cena stabbing
Guys,
out.
we put Ted Lasso as the number 5 show of 2021. We're basic bitches. That was determined when we made that
No, we're
decision.
not. Ted Lasso's not nearly as popular.
I told
as,
you,
like,
the
Squid
internet
Game,
hates
for
Ted
example.
Lasso.
That weird corner of the internet you go to feel better about yourself hates Ted Lasso. So,
Well, the minute that you said okay to come on, it fucked me up, man. It fucked up this whole list for me. I had a nice little, no, we'll say no to Andrew's come on, and then we'll have Bo Burnham Inside at 3, and then Green Knight and Suicide Squad both make it. Lucas probably wins. I don't do the math, but like it's a good list. Now Come On, Come On's in there. And look, by all accounts, it sounds like a good movie, but Bo Burnham's Inside being left out, when it has played such an important role in my year personally, that sucks.
It's not left out. It's at number
Hurts
2.
me. Yeah, no. It almost did. Unless
I said yes to Bo Burnham's Inside. I said yes.
Yeah, I said
I
yes.
was going to say yes to Bo Burnham's. Ryan, Bo Burnham's Inside is a singular piece of media that somehow manages to capture not only what it's like to live through the COVID-19 pandemic, but also
you don't have to sell it to Ryan.
20
It was
something
Ryan's number one movie.
Yeah.
Like that was always going to be in our top 3, man. I love that shit.
Was it?
You didn't have it on your list.
Yeah, no one did. I don't know that Bo Burnham's Inside was gonna make it. I got touch and go the minute that Come On was thrown.
Ryan,
in.
how I wanted this to play out, how I thought this would make us all happy. Come On, number 3. Bo Burnham, number 2. The Suicide Squad, one of the few. Is it the only movie that all 3 of us have seen this year? At number 1. That all 3 of us saw and enjoyed. Because it is a fantastic film. You got Polka Dot Man in there being the saddest person alive. You have
I wish
John
it could be
Cena.
on there. I really do.
You have John Cena playing
that's-
actual America.
Lucas, you created this game. You made it. You explained the rules. I'm sitting here with 2 movies that are pretty equal in my mind, and I'm gonna be sad that either of them gets left off. And now I'm choosing between Lucas, who has more points than me, and Andrew, who has less. And, I think the choice is just clear.
Andrew, are you really going to say no when such a self-motivated person is making this pitch right now? If we roll back the tape,
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
I don't think you even really cared for the Green Knight.
No, I told
I think
you.
you
Like,
had
the
more-
more I thought
if we
about
roll
it, the
back to the
better it
original
was.
podcast.
Also,
Yeah, he
I will
explained.
say, I think I told you, the Suicide Squad was the same for me. I did not enjoy myself watching that movie. And then the next day I woke up, I'm like, no, that shit was fucking awesome. But,
Yeah. Andrew was a lot lower on the Suicide Squad than you and me were. At the beginning.
yeah, no, like sometimes movies need to marinate in my head.
It's a travesty, man. I had them all 3 making it, and Come On at 5. Spider-Man No Way Home just not getting on the list at all, and everything would have been hunky-dory. We would have had a great list. But now with this game that we've created, either the Green Knight or Suicide Squad has to get left off. And it's, for me, in terms of the game, if I don't really care much either way, it's going to be the Green Knight.
I mean, if you want to victim blame and say that this is a problem of my own making and not my drive to genuinely craft a fantastic list that we all can be proud of, I can't stop you from doing that. I can't stop people from judging you from doing that, but I can't stop you from doing that.
If we remove the competitive angle, we would actually get a good top 10. But the fact that we're competing, which is part of the fun, but it's a different kind of fun.
I mean,
We're not cooperative.
I know us, and just by virtue of all of us had different pieces of media as number 1 for every one of our top 10s in each category, it was always going to turn into a kind of competition.
Yeah.
It would.
All
But not as
right, we've been doing this for over 3 hours.
Yeah, we have been. Is it time? Nose abound.
So,
And Lucas will not put it in the number 1
I'll
spot.
do it.
We know this trend
Why is it gold?
because it's the number 1 movie of 2021. That's
Green
why.
Knight.
All right, well, someone goes over the top 10. I'm going to add this up.
I think I led this one off, so ironically, I have to go through it. Number 10, Bad Trip. Number 9, Dune. Number 8, Godzilla vs. Kong. Number 7, In the Earth. Number 6, Minari. Number 5, Spider-Man No Way Home. Number 4, Don't Look Up. Number 3, Come On. Number 2, Bo Burnham Inside. And number 1, Green Knight. Those are our top 10 movies of 2021. I don't know if I said it this year, but I have years past. These lists are ones that we come up with together. So, of course, they are lists that are fundamentally compromises, but also definitive. And if anyone tells you that this is not the true top 10 movies of 2021 list, you are talking to a liar. Now, as Ryan tallies the scores...
Oh, my God. I did not think Lucas's would be this bad.
Damn.
Holy shit. Everyone needs to double check their scores and make sure I'm right.
I'm checking
Lucas
mine.
got fucking laid out. Did I miss something from Lucas? Because you had Don't Look Up, which ironically saved you from. That's the only way you got any points this year in movies. Godzilla vs. Kong and Bad Trip. That's it. So that's 11. There you go.
Did you really have 51 points in TV, Ryan? Okay.
Yeah, man.
I remember last year there was controversy
like I said, I only missed
because we ended the count with Ryan wins, and then
the count.
I went back and looked, and you gave me fewer points for something, and I actually won, and then we had to do the podcast trial. So.
Podcast trial.
Okay. I know I'm always going to get dogged in these, so I didn't care about the points. What I do care about, though...
You won the first year, Lucas. You won.
I thought we all agreed that the first year doesn't really count.
First year was a while.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I had Avatar: The Last Airbender as one of my top 10 shows.
No, we had shit that we just had watched that year, even if it was decades old.
I think Andrew, Ryan, is Resident Evil 8 Village a better video game than Hades?
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
But from everything I've heard, I think that it sounds like Resident Evil 8 Village is like an 8 out of 10. Hades is like a 9 or a 10 out of 10.
That's fair.
I don't know.
Ryan, I will be very interested to hear your take on this one. Is Succession a better TV show than Better Call Saul?
Fuck, man.
Which are your babies, man? Here you
tough.
go.
I think I'm going to lean Better Call Saul. If for nothing else, because I'm watching Breaking Bad right now, and holy shit, it's holding up 100%. I think I'm leaning slightly Better Call Saul.
Okay, and
that's also because I feel like this is the weakest season of Succession so far. This is the third best season, but I feel like season 1, 10 out of 10, season 2, 10 out of 10, season 3, 9 out of 10.
And then here's your guys' chances to have even an ounce of integrity. Is Green Knight a better film than 1917?
That's a tough one. I'm going to say no.
Probably not. I'm going to lean 1917.
Wow, I was betrayed for a film that isn't even the best movie of the past 2 years. Wow.
1917 is a really good movie.
Here's the thing that I didn't realize because I didn't do the math because I wasn't metagaming that hard. I was just deciding second place when I chose the number one movie. I was going to win no matter what. I had amassed enough points in TV and then kept pace in movies. Really, I was just deciding whether you guys tied in the movies category or whether Andrew swept it and took over second place. So I wasn't metagaming that hard. And like I said, I don't know if it's easy for me to pick between. When I inserted the Green Knight, I didn't really know where I was going to put it, whether it be 4 or 3. It's very, very close for me. So yeah, I have no regrets other than the fact that some of these things got in where they did. Lost? Wait, what's Lost?
Oh no, it lost last year.
Oh, I see. So all 3. 2021 was definitively worse than 2020.
I'm going to agree. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, man. Fuck. Ugh, tough year.
Ryan got 8 points in video games and won. That's fun for me. I'm such a bad gamer.
If No More Heroes 3 had taken first, I would say that was definitively better than Hades, but no, it didn't, so I can't. Our number 2 is better than last year's number 1.
I don't think we would, though.
Well,
I don't think that we would have said No More Heroes 3 was better than Hades.
Yeah, but you guys think Green Knight is the number 1 movie of the year, so I don't know if I trust your opinions anymore.
I think Bo Burnham Inside is the number 1 movie of the year, and Andrew thinks Come On is the number 1 movie of the year, but we all make sacrifices.
Guys who don't think Suicide Squad deserves to be in the top 10. Fair.
Hey, it's the definitive list. Anyone who says that Suicide Squad is better than Bad Trip or Dune is just
That
wrong.
is accurate.
All right, are we gonna do another clap sync just in case?
Yeah, let's do a clap sync and then the wind down. Fucking end of 2021. A year of highs and lows. Jesus Christ. I don't know if I have anything to say. I might have. There's a non-zero chance we made more podcast content than anyone else on the planet this year. That's fucked up.
It's a small chance. It is non-zero though.
Yeah.
You're right.
We gotta be at least top 50.
No idea. There's a lot of fucking podcasts.
There's probably
there-
podcasts for.
There's probably some sleep podcast that does daily 8-hour-long episodes.
I was
Right.
gonna say there's probably like some church fucking podcasts where you just it's an 8-hour shift of a guy just talking about bullshit every single day of the week.
Yeah, I don't even want to eulogize this year. It's garbage. Someday we'll have good years again.
Man.
But it's this is like 4 in a row where this year was worse than
That
the year
Hadron
before.
Collider, man, really did a number on us.
I don't know, and it feels bad to say, but then also, this year sucked for a lot of people, and it kind of sucked for me, but also, I had a pretty good year. There's some media on this list that I'm like, fuck, this is like a goat for me. This is going to be stuff I'm like dying and think about, like, maybe humanity is okay because this piece of media came out, but fucking No More Heroes 3, goddamn. Fucking What We Do in the Shadows. Fucking I Think You Should Leave With Tim Robinson. The Suicide Squad. Not in our top 10, but still really good. Okay, pretty good. Like, that came out in a better year. That'd probably be like a 5 for me. What did I have for movies last year? Yeah.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Is this our longest podcast ever?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, this is going to be up there.
Did we
Yeah.
break the record?
I think so. This is going to be a bitch to edit.
I think last year's top 10 was like 2 hours 45 minutes.
Yeah. Google Meet. We've figured out Google Meet
Yeah.
as well. Apparently you just leave and come back and it just doesn't have a timer, which is fun.
Maybe that one of us is on mobile is a different spec. We'll experiment with it, but fucking I don't know, gang. The quarantine cast definitely helped keep me sane this year. We'll see if corporations are socially responsible and it comes back next year, or if you're just gonna get less podcast, but it's better because of that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Ryan won the Voluntary Viewing 2021 Top 10s Battle to the Death. Congratulations. You win. Fucking
Yay.
have a great New Year's, everybody. Good luck in 2022. Goodbye.